The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Monday, May 9th, 2022. In this sports show, shall commence immediately following the speed drop from Twine. Bang! Yeah! There it was. Here we go. The boys just made incredible noises over there to signify that they are excited for this show to begin. The Toxic Table looks fantastic. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Connor, I see you wearing a head of the table shirt.
Yeah, I mean, it was an unbelievable performance by the Bloodline. They're too good. You know, sometimes you just watch them wrestle and you get kind of encapsulated by the greatness.
Randy was robbed.
Randy was robbed. And granted, the RKOs, you know, they hit unbelievably.
How about the Superman?
Into the RKO. I mean, it was magnificent.
Corey Graves had a great line about that. He said Randy quite literally beat Superman to the punch there when he hit him with an RKO instead of the Superman punch. Mm-hmm. And I almost said on the microphone, wow, that was incredibly clever. That was incredibly clever right there. I got a chance to call alongside Corey and Michael Cole last night. Obviously, we're referring to WrestleMania Backlash, which was Backlash from WrestleMania.
Unreal.
That happened a month ago or whatever. It was a great night, great time. Rhode Island, what a place.
Yeah, what a place. Gotta love Rhode Island.
Yeah, good people, good energy. Good energy.
Is that the little one?
Yeah, tiny, right?
Smallest state, I believe.
Smallest state. The arena was packed.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people in there. Very loud. A lot of wickets. Thing was pretty dope in there. Super accents in Rhode Island.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. My driver had one of the most.
Gotta love that.
I did. I enjoyed it greatly. I was laughing at we were trying to have small talk, but I was laughing at everything he was saying because of the words, the way it was coming out. I say it sounds like I'm talking to a fucking movie right now. That's what it feels like I'm talking to. Great person, great people, great night. Can't thank you all enough. If you watch, congrats to the Bloodline.
Yeah. Great win.
Performance.
Congrats to Madcap Moss.
Oh, yeah. Thank God.
And congrats to new SmackDown Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey.
The baddest. Way to go, Ronda.
Fun night in Rhode Island. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Happy Mother's Day to everybody's mom. Happy Mother's Day to everybody in here, mom, and significant others, and everything that's got going on. Hope you enjoyed it. At Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys is here. You look fantastic, pal. Getting ready for summer. Hey, listen, it's 80 degrees outside today in Indianapolis. Let's go. Let's live a little.
I think we have finally turned the corner. I believe we have made the switch. This is no longer a 4-season state that we live in. This is winter and summer, and we have finally made the switch to summer.
Oh, the old light switch.
Yeah.
Used to be 4 seasons. This is now a light switch season city, light switch season area, I assume. Yeah. You go from winter to summer. There was a little bit of a spring there. I mean, it was really cold. It was really hot. It was really cold. Yep. It was really hot. But 80 degrees, I'll tell you what, boys, we are not going to like this about a week from now. No. I can already tell. I can already tell. It's all thick. I can already start to sense the humidity. And beggars can't be choosers. We've been begging for warm weather for a long time and for sunshine and for good vibes and good feelings. And that's what I think we are, because the summer, guess what? The summer brings the fall.
Yeah.
And guess what's in the fall? NFL football.
Hell yeah. 121 days.
Fall brings rain.
Rain brings corn. Corn makes whiskey. Whiskey makes my baby get a little frisky. There it is. Rain's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I'm done with the rain. I'm excited for the sun, and that's what we have today. And not only do we have the sun outside and warm weather right around the corner, we have 3 massive guests today. Michael Chandler, fresh off the boot to the face of Tony Ferguson on Saturday night. He'll be joining us in about 10 minutes. Can't wait to chat with him. That first round was gruesome.
Battle.
It really was.
Yeah.
I watched it back. I mean, Chandler gets knocked down there with a big left. Ferguson obviously has the reach and the height advantage, catches him clean right on the nose. Does this dude have a broken nose? Yeah. Like, that had to have been a broken nose. I was watching, it was just it knocked him down, he gets back up, he ends up tackling him, taking him down, fucking ground and pound. It was awesome. But I don't know how these dudes don't just break every bone in their body every single fight. Yeah. Just a glancing elbow to the face. Like, how does that not bust you open every single time? Now everybody's obviously talking about the Thug Rose fight, which was not as electrifying as ever. Cerebral.
Cerebral.
Cerebral battle.
Calculated.
Now, granted, we had a boost for that thing not not to go to the judges. And it seemed like very early on, everybody was like, this one's going to go the whole way. Unless somebody just has a heart attack from cardio.
Right.
This thing is probably going to last the entire time. Never could have expected it. Congrats to all the winners. Can't wait to talk to Chandler. Beautiful boot for the brand. Landed that thing right on the jaw. Took that thing a little swing. I mean, what a connection. Turned Tony Ferguson into a senior citizen.
Yeah. That's absurd.
I think his face is made out of Play-Doh.
Bang! Then we got Darius Butler joining us in the second hour. He was at the F1 race down in Miami. He got a chance to experience that. Big F1 fan from South Florida. I assume he really enjoyed all these festivities. Shout out to F1, by the way. Fucking killed it.
Oh, yeah. So many people.
Everyone was there.
There was a tweet that said Stephen Ross is going to make the same amount of money that he makes for an entire NFL season just hosting this one event. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, who has it feels like an inside source on all the type of shit that you would never think that people would have an inside source on, like finances. By hosting an F1 event on Sunday, Dolphins owner Stephen Ross reportedly will make as much money as he does by hosting an entire NFL season.
That's unbelievable.
Wild.
One day, you get Tom Brady taking a picture of Michael Jordan, Lewis Hamilton, and David Beckham. Then that is just 4 of the GOATs that are roaming around. You have every single sport genre bucket of humans, greatest people, all strolling around the fucking garden down there for F1. I mean, they have done an incredible job of marketing themselves. That Netflix documentary obviously took off. People got interested. Racing at that type of speed can be electrifying and intense, especially if you've got good personalities and good money behind it. F1 might steam. Miami might be, hey, there's going to be an F1 event probably in LA.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be an F1 event probably somewhere else. I mean, anywhere that all the big money motherfuckers go to, that is where F1 will head to. And congrats to them.
Yeah, unreal.
I think they sold it to somebody recently. They sold it like within recently.
All because of the Netflix thing?
I honestly believe that is the case. Now, the super rich yuppies have always heard about it, right? Because they've always been in there. Like, I've had some friends who have been invited to, Monaco or something.
Yeah, that's the spot.
Like,
That's the big one.
The super, like, oh, I'm going to Monaco. For what? An F1 race. The fuck is an F1 race? Don't know, but
I'm going.
Rolex is flying me out there. I'm like, Rolex is doing deals now? And it's like, yeah, all the super high-end, everything you've ever heard of. Rolls Royce is involved. I mean, like, all the high-end people are involved in it. I assume it's a super expensive thing to operate, but
Can a track go anywhere? Like, is it just man-made for all those?
So I know this one was, I think.
So was the one in Vegas, I think.
Yeah, like that's probably part of the reason why they will expand a bunch, because it looks like you don't need to build this out. It's not a massive project. Like, they just had the blueprints for what they wanted to do, and over the course of however many months, like, set up the track right around the Dolphin Stadium.
and couldn't you? They do cities too, don't they?
Yeah, they use the streets.
Yeah. So I mean, can't come to Indy.
No.
Hey, you want to see who's the fucking best driver? Fucking get him around these streets. Who can survive one trip around in that F1 car? If you can survive one trip around Indianapolis with those F1 tires, I would be very impressed.
Yeah.
I almost lost a moat. I almost fell in a moat today.
No.
Driving down. I accidentally wasn't looking at the road for a second. Don't fucking do that.
No.
You got to be dialed in like you're Lewis fucking Hamilton when you're driving around Indianapolis, because you are on the move. I honestly was like, oh shit, if I didn't miss that one, I'm thinking there's a chance my car just does like a fucking front one-handed handstand.
Yeah.
Bumper
I
comes
think
all
there's
the
a
way
chance.
in.
Right here in Indianapolis.
What do you know?
So I don't know if we'll get an F1 race, but it looked like a lot of fun in Miami. We'll talk to Darius Butler about that. Third hour, we'll have Quentin Richardson joining us, host of the Knuckleheads podcast. He is obviously NBA OG, NBA vet. The NBA had a great weekend, and guess who's back? James Harden.
Yes.
Had 31 yesterday or something like that, and the step back was just as pure as it was in Houston. I mean, that could be a great team to watch. Doc Rivers was on the hot seat just a few weeks ago. Right now, they're all the way back in this thing, and Joel Embiid's wearing a hilarious mask.
Yeah.
So that's marketable. That's a good thing. I can't wait to hear what's going on around basketball. Lil Wayne said, Luka, a hoe.
Yeah, what's up
Was
with
that a compliment or not a compliment?
Why is Lil Wayne saying Luka, a hoe?
Not a compliment.
You don't think it's a
Don't
compliment?
think it's a compliment.
Listen,
No.
getting called a hoe, not good.
Well, I didn't know. Sometimes things change.
I actually almost dropped that on WrestleMania Backlash last night, but I didn't know what level hoe is. Like, am I allowed to say hoe on the peacock? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But I almost said, just like Lil Wayne said about Luka earlier, insert name of person acting like a real hoe right now.
Happy Corbin.
And I didn't know. I didn't really know how that would go. But why didn't you like Luka? I thought Luka was a dog. I thought we liked
he's
Luka.
a dog too.
I thought we
Well,
liked
he is a dog.
I assume he's just like a Chris Paul, Devin Booker guy. And
Well,
that's the big story.
How about
from
the Dallas Mavericks folks pushing Chris Paul's family?
Yeah.
Well,
Bold.
that kid.
The white that did the pushing?
You mean Foxy generation?
I
kid.
saw him on the way out. Yeah, I saw Chris Paul say something to him. Chris Paul, Chris Paul very direct to him. I don't know if he said, "I will beat the fuck out of you." I don't know what he said. I didn't hear the exact words.
Catch you outside.
Yeah, he said, "I'll see you later."
Okay, so he's good. He would have, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
With that little frail little white that was doing all the bullshit on the outside that has caused quite a disturbance in the entire NBA playoffs right now because he's being a drunk doofus in Dallas. That can happen, pal.
Yeah, and Charles Barkley, I think, said it on the post-game show. Like, hey, what they need to do is just have Chris Paul and that kid center court, 5 minutes, no holds bar. Essentially, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, but at center court for 5 minutes.
And listen, get the hockey sticks out.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, have everybody stand in a circle just like in hockey.
That's right.
Get some stick taps. And then fucking body bag the guy that's going to get body bagged by Chris Paul. Drag him out. Everybody back to their benches. Let's get back into this thing. That's easy.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
We can do that. Jimmy Butler would do that. I mean, that's,
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, Brody, imagine Russell Westbrook and that guy from Utah standing right in the middle of that thing. Oh my God, he'd be beating a Mormon out of that guy.
I feel like that kid touching Chris Paul's family or whatever, pushing, doing whatever, is kind of similar to that guy rushing the stage for Chappelle. Like, Chris Paul should be allowed. That's one of those times where
He can be a hero.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
can be a hero and have no repercussion for beating the fuck out of that guy.
And speaking of that, there was a woman that tried to rush the UFC cage.
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, there was a security guy up on the cage, fucking set his feet, fucking shuffled a little step a little bit. Whoop, bang!
Yeah.
And this lady's body.
Yeah.
God.
She went flying.
And her friends, though, were pumped. Yeah! I don't know what the outcome of that is, but people are getting very, very comfortable at events. And I think a lot of people, I'm like, yeah, here we go. I'm going to go get in there. Look, they turn their heads. I fucking got him. I'm out. Everybody make sure you get a good angle of this. I'm going to get in the cage. Oh, my God, here I come. Everybody eat shit. See ya! See ya! See ya! Good base there, too. By the way. And then goes right back to man the post.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got eyes on this lady all the way front. He probably senses, go ahead and play that. He probably senses her already. Oh, my God, here, let me get a good base. Yep, here she comes. Bang!
He does get set. He's waiting for a stunt. He's waiting for the tackle to fucking come around behind her.
And in his head, what does he think? Does she have the little gun knife thingy that fucking psychopath? How'd Bill Burr describe that guy? Oh, you know what Sid used to do in Toy Story?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Which is a perfect description.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably what that security guard was saying. What if there's a little gun knife thing on this lady? I mean, she looks small. She kind of an unathletic run.
Little bit.
So she's going to be able to get over this cage if she gets up here. He wasn't playing any of those games, though. Take a seat.
Yeah, and saying this is like happening just because of that Will Smith shit, it feels like. Like that kind of set the standard, like, hey, I guess we can just rush stages now and do whatever the fuck we want.
You know, Will Smith, very good at social media.
Sure.
We've heard him say that privately and publicly privately. He is an influencer, right?
Sure.
So
Yeah,
he does
sure.
potentially influence other people's thoughts and opinions. And maybe it is the case that every one of those comedians that got so pissed off after that Chris Rock thing, so mad.
Yeah.
The comedians got so angry. They actually even were like, we're taking notes on motherfucking comedians that aren't speaking up for this right now, actually. That's what they actually were saying. They were pissed because they thought that Will Smith would give some lunatics who show up at events more of a green light to go act on their feelings or their initial feelings or thoughts. And I've openly said this a couple different times now. I thought they were being a little ridiculous. We're being a little bit dramatic. You guys have seen your angle here to go. But they're the ones who have been at these shows and see these people and interact with these people who think they're funnier, smarter, and more offended and better people than you at an entertainment show where they're supposed to be coming to laugh. They get incredibly hateful. And I think they might have been right. Honestly, you're 100% correct. I think whenever you see something, how many people saw that? 100 million people?
So many.
100 million people probably saw that. And he just walked back down and he wins an Oscar later. I didn't even think about the potential repercussions later, but people need to know, not only will you get bodied by a security guard on a cage, you'll get Sid from Toy Story, shout out Bill Burr. We got to continue to publicly humiliate these people.
Also, a UFC event, like, not the place to do it. You know, everyone's kind of already juiced up. Like, it's kind of understood that, like, oh, yeah, someone's going to rush the cage. They're probably going to get the shit beat out of them.
You get onto a football field, there's a chance you get tackled by Anthony Schlegel.
Yep.
Get onto a soccer pitch, there's a good chance you get celebrated and then, like, sideswiped by a security person at some point, but mostly people are happy about it. You rush the cage at a UFC event, you potentially get your fucking head kicked off.
Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah.
Speaking of, joining us now, fresh off a sensational Saturday A viral moment that we all saw. One of the best punts I have ever seen in my entire life. And then immediately following his victory, he cuts a promo in which he calls out 4 guys and then Conor McGregor. If he wants some, come get some. See you at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like he's there. UFC stud. 22 fights, 17 knockouts going in. So now it's 23 fights, 18 finishes going in. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Chandler.
What's up, Pat?
Dude, congratulations.
So, thank you, man. Hey, from one of the greatest punters of all time, to say that was one of the best punts you've ever seen, I'll take it, man.
How long? Now, listen, I know you kick, and you turned this dude into a senior citizen. His face honestly looks like he's 75, 80 years old. The amount of impact, just the perfect delivery, ball of the foot right on the chin. Is this something you're known for? Do I not? Am I missing something? Is this something you worked on? How did you know this was going to happen? Did you know?
No, it's actually hilarious because it's not something I train a lot. To be quite honest with you, I'm more of a punch-heavy striker. I don't throw a lot of kicks, truthfully, because I hurt my foot more often than not. I hurt myself more than I hurt my opponent, so I don't throw a ton of kicks. But we saw his hands were kind of on both sides of his head. He was kind of leaving a lane up the middle, so I was going to throw high lows and uppercuts, but the kick up the middle looked like it was going to land. So I honestly threw it out there for a rangefinder, but turns out I threw it with some ill intent, and it landed right on the chin, and he crumbled, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and it was awesome to watch, and obviously Tony Ferguson's not saying that right now, but everybody else on earth is like, that's what fucking UFC events are about. That's what, you guys are both trying to do when you go in there. It's electrifying. It's entertainment. I thought the entire first round, you got popped with one there. Right? Did you break your nose? Like, does that happen, or is your nose just doesn't break anymore? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I got popped. I bruise easily. I'm not gonna lie. I barely get touched here and there, and I'll end up with a black eye. But no, I definitely got hit in the eye, and it was the first time my eye swelled up really quickly like that, and kind of messes with your sinuses. So got popped in the eye, which is good. I mean, it woke me up, helped me be a little bit more negotiation, a little bit more less eager to navigate those exchanges right away. Wanted to get the distance, obviously got the takedown right away and did some ground and pound, and then in the second round got the distance with that kick. But definitely got popped, man. Tony Ferguson's a consummate professional, a hard charging veteran. He's been in the top of the division. Compete against him, and he's always tough.
And he obviously had the reach on you and the size on you, which I assume you're used to and everything like that. But there was a couple moments, I think DC even said, like, hey, this is when Chandler just starts fighting sometimes because you are the most entertaining fighter in there. I mean, you and Gaethje literally tried to kill each other in there. I mean, it was unbelievable. You do put on electrifying fights. When you go into the corner after the first round, after you had him down, and it felt like, that's your breadbasket there, wrestling and throwing strikes. You busted him open there. When you go into the corner, what's the conversation? I didn't hear it live. I watched it back. What was the conversation? What was the thought after round one? Like, you guys are in for one here, or did you feel good about where you were?
Yeah, no, I mean, we knew we were in for one no matter what when you were fighting Tony Ferguson. But I just kept telling my coaches, keep repeating to me, smart and sharp, composed and confident. Like you said, it's nice to have that no-quit gene, that brawler gene, that entertaining fighter gene. I know I have it inside of me to be able to go out there and, fight fire with guys and sling leather. But it's even better to find the easiest path to victory, to be smart and sharp, be composed and confident, be a veteran. That's what my coach was saying. Obviously, got tagged a little bit here in that first round, which is good. You almost want to get touched to know that you're in a fight, to have your wherewithal about you, to keep you on your P's and Q's. So they kept. The fight finished in the second.
So last time you talked to us, or not, maybe it's the first time you chatted with us, you talked about how you live the fighter lifestyle. It's like, hey, every day I live the fighter lifestyle. I'm all the way in. Nate Diaz just tweeted like July 7th or something, 2020. You quote tweeted that. You were like, hey, that's a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Especially with your sinus situation you got right now. I mean, let's go. That's a quick turnaround. I'm here, quick turnaround. Spin your head on its axis. Nate Diaz, July 30th, 170 pounds. This comes after you talked about Conor McGregor in your post-fight promo. That was fucking, hey. Yeah. That's not easy. Dead tired? That's not easy at all to keep your composure. You didn't miss a word. I don't know if you watched it back. You fucking killed that thing. What is next for you? Anything? Are you ready to go, huh? You'll take anybody right now.
Thank you. Yeah, man. I'm just I'm high on the achievement. I'm high on it going well. I'm high on being a part of the most electrifying division in the UFC. When you talk about the title now being vacant because Charles didn't make weight and Charles won, I have some history with Charles Oliveira. I had history with Justin Gaethje had he won. Conor needs to come back and fight someone extremely talented and extremely exciting, a guy who makes people feel something. I have quickly become that guy. I put butts in seats. I'm entertaining on the microphone, in the octagon, in life. So I'm hoping Conor comes back and wants to roll. If not, fight for the title. If not, like we said, Diaz is out there. A couple fights at 170. Man, I just want big fights, big platforms, big opportunities, big stages, and keep on making big statements.
Yeah, because you're not just going to go relax now. You're probably you taking a day, two off? You taking this week off? What is your plan right now?
Yeah, we're still in Arizona. We love it out here. So we're hanging out by the pool today, getting to get some sun. Get back to my newly adopted son, who's like 20 days old.
Hey, congrats! Congrats!
Thank you. So we have our oldest son, Hap, here right now. Ace is back home with a night nurse around the clock, making sure he's okay. So my wife was able to come out here and celebrate this opportunity. And then, yeah, man, probably take this week off as my feet and legs heal. I dislocated my pinky finger about 20, 30 minutes before the fight, blocking a kick. So
your ring finger.
That looked at.
Yeah, your ring finger. Come on, I mean, you said pinky.
Oh yeah, sorry, my ring finger.
No, I was about to say, man, your ring finger's fucked up too. I wanted to let you know. I think you're. So that's in the warm up. You're training and you're just blocking and you just caught you.
Yeah, my buddy Marquez, a great training partner of mine. He was throwing kicks. I had this great idea. Warm up was already done. I'm going out in about 10, 20 minutes. And I'm like, hey, throw some left high kicks at me. I want to block him and go body shot. And he threw a normal kick like he's done 1,000 times at me. And it ended up going fingernail all the way back, bent it all the way back. At this point, boys, we keep the adrenaline going. I said, this ain't a hand. It's a hammer. We gotta go.
Dahn! You said you got electricity or lightning in both your hands, I believe, one time, and turns out you got one in your fucking foot too, man. Is the punt going to become part of the arsenal now? You're going to start training that or no?
Maybe, man. I tell you what, that's the funny thing. I like I said, I never train it. I'll probably train it a little bit more. You know, I got obviously some thick athletic legs, so I can generate a decent amount of power. This just worked out really well. That the timing and the distance and the angle was perfect, and the accuracy worked out well.
You landed that in the keyhole, dude. I mean, that is right where you want it. You're right where you want it to be. Incredible.
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate, man, that face is now going to live on the internet forever. Like, remember the bitter beer face?
Yes.
The guy that day on the internet. It's like, bro, that's a rough one, man. But Tony Ferguson is a consummate professional, man. My hat's off to him. It was an honor to compete against him, and this is the business that we're in, man. Sometimes you get punted.
Yeah, you're going to go ahead, Ty.
Michael, you mentioned your coaches just kind of you wanting them to repeat the same thing to you throughout after that first round and throughout the rest of the fight. For a fight like this, how much does your original game plan like change from round to round? Like, is he doing anything where like, okay, we need to definitely change how we envision this going, or is it you know what you're going to do going in and you kind of don't deviate from that original game plan?
It's a good question. Yeah, I mean, ideally you don't really deviate from the original game plan, but truthfully, I don't have a very strict game plan because, you know, you can have a game plan and all of a sudden if that game plan doesn't work, now all of a sudden you're left with without a paddle. So essentially, I try to let the fight progress. Try to let the fight kind of materialize itself. Tony definitely came in with some weird shots from weird angles, and he definitely probably looked the best that he had looked in his last 3 performances. So I definitely had a gut check there for a second. Definitely had a moment in the corner where I thought to myself, okay, we're in a dogfight here, boys. So we gotta move forward, and got the distance in the second round, and obviously got the finish and the backflips and the call outs and all that kind of stuff, and it worked out really well. But
hey, those backflips were clean. How many did you hit? 4 or 5?
4. Only 4.
You threw a guy out of the way too for that last one.
I did, and I tracked down 2 different people to get that guy's number to text him and say, "Yo, bro, I just saw that video, man. I feel like a huge D-bag. I'm sorry, but your boy was on cloud 9. I was high on an adrenaline, and pushed you out of the way."
Hey, those were clean backflips, though. Very, very, very clean. You trampoline kid growing up?
Thank you. No, I mean, but I've always just kind of been a guy who's been able to do backflips, and people love to see them. And the crowd cheered after the first one, so you know me, Pat. I gotta play to the crowd. I gotta play to the crowd.
Absolutely, you're an entertainer, man. That's good for business. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Michael, you mentioned your oldest son is with you. Was that the first time he saw you fight in person? And does he know now, like, oh shit, my dad's a gladiator, or did he already know that?
Yeah, I think he kind of knew. You know, my wife and I were slowly breaking him into it. What this event was going to entail. He went to the weigh-ins. He's wearing his headphones because it's extremely loud in there, sensory overload. But it was really, really good. Obviously, there was a ton of pressure. There's a ton of pressure when your child is there, and it's the sport of mixed martial arts. I mean, let's be honest. What happened to Tony could have just as easily happened to me on Saturday night. That's the game that we signed up for. So it was a little bit scary, obviously, taking him into a tumultuous situation where there is no guarantee that I'm going to win, even if I am the favorite. But it was really good for him to see what Daddy does because, as I said, we're here in Arizona now, but I've been in Florida training while my family is in Nashville, and I go home on the weekends, and my sons will know without a shadow of a doubt that every man has to work and every man needs to be selfish for seasons in order to be completely selfless for the family. So it's nice for them or him to see what Daddy does on fight night to bring home the bacon for the family and provide and create a legacy, because this sport that I love takes me away from him. So it all came full circle, and it was a really, really good weekend.
Man, what a way to help, explain the entire thing to your kid. Like, let me tell you why I have to go train, because there's a chance that bitter beer face is your dad's face. We need that not to happen. And also UFC environments, those arenas are electrifying.
Yeah.
I'm sure he learned some stuff from looking around too. I'm sure he saw some things that he may not have seen.
Exactly. I'm glad he had his headphones on.
Yeah, smart. Good call. Go ahead, Tone. Last question here, Mike. Thank you for your time. Go ahead, Tone.
Michael, you kind of talked about it earlier, that Charles missed weight by half a pound, so the title's vacant now. And then you talked about also fighting at 170. What do you walk around that? And if you do fight at 170, do you just have to cut less, or do you get heavier during training camp? How's the weight situation work with 155 to 170?
It's a good question. Yeah, so essentially because Charles missed weight, that title became vacant. Justin Gaethje could have won the title, but Charles Oliveira could not have retained the title. And since Charles won, the title is now vacant. The UFC has since said that he is now the number 1 contender. So if I fight for the title, it would be against Charles Oliveira. And then, as far as fighting at 170, to be honest with you, I'm already a pretty big 155er. I will be 190 to 192 in the next 2-3 weeks. Once my body kind of fills itself back up, and then I'll just get lean and get in shape and cut a little bit less weight. I'm not going to put on any muscle mass. I'm already pretty big. I'm already a pretty big boy. I don't need any more muscle mass to be carrying around the octagon with me.
You're a stout fucking guy, huh? Yeah.
I'll try to be.
Yeah.
Slot receiver, man. Slot receiver.
Gotta take those hits. I think the cool thing about you, and you're a baby face in this whole thing, because I think everybody enjoys your mission, your drive, you're entertaining, your fights have been awesome, and you've been a champion elsewhere and still keep striving and striving and striving for more. So I don't expect you to bury anybody, but when somebody misses weight, what is that viewed like amongst other fighters, right? Like, hey, we all are in this for the card, right? We're all making money together. Is that how it's viewed? Like, you didn't hold up your end of the bargain, or is that possible for anybody at any fight to potentially miss by a half a fucking pound?
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely never ever give the benefit of the doubt that it's a possibility, man. You got a contract and you sign that contract on the contracted weight. I have weighed in now 30 times in mixed martial arts and 100 and something times before that in the sport of wrestling. I have never missed weight. I don't say that to impress anybody, but to impress upon you that there's the weight cut started way before that last morning. The weight cut started way before that last week. The weight cut starts 10 weeks, 12 weeks before the fight when you consistently are disciplined inside of the kitchen, consistently disciplined with your supplementation, consistently disciplined with your road work, your cardio, the extra work that you need to do. And I would never kick a man while he's down. I mean, Charles is not exactly down. He still won the fight, but it was unfortunate for him that he is not the champion anymore because he missed weight. But there was obviously a sentiment that everybody was just dumbfounded, especially as a champion. When you become the champion, you have even more of a reputation to uphold, and making weight is the first commitment that you make, that you have to see through. And I've never missed weight, so I've never been that guy. But I'm sure Charles will clean it up hopefully in the future. It's
miserable, huh? It is miserable, weight cutting.
It is the worst thing in the world, Pat. There's only a couple real necessities in life: oxygen, food, water, and two of them are on short supply. So you're calorie restricted. And I mean, just like you said, man, I'm probably 182 right now. My body feels good in the upper 170s and in the mid 80s, even in the 90s. My body just feels good. I feel like a normal human being. When I start creeping down into the 70s, definitely into the 60s, I start feeling like a small child. So I'm trying to not feel that way anymore, man. I just want to be thriving. I just want my body to be moving and firing on all cylinders. Once I get below 170, it just it's no bueno.
I like the fact you called out Connor at 170 because in your head you're like, also it'd be good for me.
I definitely played to Connor. Right now I know Connor's talking about fighting at 170. He's looking big. He's looking beefy. He's looking dangerous. I love it. That's the Connor I want to fight. Not to mention the fact that if I ain't gotta make 155, let's go ahead and do it at 170. Yeah. Do it with them big old 170 hands.
We'll get back to the celebration. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Can't wait to see who you fight next, and we'll see you at the top, boss.
Yeah, I'll see you at the top, man. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Chandler. Iron Michael Chandler.
Beast.
He punted that dude's head.
Oh. Him referring to it as sling leather.
Yes,
fighting. That is all time.
That's the business we signed up for. Some nights you might get punted, he said. Just casually. I'm like, God damn, you're right. I guess that is something that could happen out of nowhere. They were feeling each other. I mean, that face.
That's absurd.
That is tough. They were feeling that first round. There's so much feeling almost, but then they were starting to throw. And the natural thought would be like, oh, he's been setting up that kick. He was setting up that kick that entire first round. He's like, nah, I didn't even really. I was actually just kind of feeling.
Trying to find the distance.
But I set some ill intention. I might get this. Holy shit, I might get it. That's awesome. Good for him. I enjoy the fight game. I enjoy watching the fights. I don't dive into all the other stuff like people that are super invested in the MMA community. I have nothing but respect and appreciation for. I don't have enough brain capacity to dive into the MMA world as well. A lot of fighters, a lot of things. I'm in the NFL thing. But anybody that's willing to step in there, shut that thing behind you. And it's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
It's either you or me. That is insane to think about. And I will always have respect for it.
Also, him walking around near 200 pounds, being 182 right now and fighting at 155 on set. That's insane.
I thought they were going to be a little more empathetic or whatever for the half a pound. Didn't sound like it.
You're the champion too, he said. Come on.
Don't want to be that guy.
Everybody's miserable.
Yeah.
Hey, this is just a part of it. Everybody's miserable. I couldn't imagine having to do that. Thank God I didn't. I remember when guys the night before weekly weigh-ins would drink that stuff that you take before a colonoscopy.
Oh, yeah.
So guys would just shit for 7 hours the night before, and then they hop on a scale, look terrible, and then they make weight, and then immediately head to the breakfast.
Yeah.
What'd you do last night? Shit my brains out for 5 hours. Why? I need to lose 8. I had a big Monday night. I'm like, Jesus, what a terrible thing.
Yeah.
They're taking salt baths at 150 degrees or something like that, sweating it out.
No thanks.
Dropping in the garbage bag, spitting. We'll be back in 4. We'll answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 18334 McAfee. Also, There's some interesting stuff that was said like a month ago that is just being leaked. Shout out to Mike Florio and Pro Football Talk for digging this up and finding this. Jason Whitlock hosts a podcast called Jason Whitlock Show.
The Lock with Whitlock.
I think it's called I Still Do a Podcast somewhere.
Jason Whitlock, though, is doing a podcast. I don't know if that's the name of it or not. He interviewed Papa John. Papa John Schnatter, who is a day walker, because he is an Italian, but his last name does not sound as if it's Italian.
That's correct.
So actually called day walker. Learned that from Mike Florio, who is reporting that on that show with Whitlock called Fearless, the podcast.
There it is.
With Jason Whitlock, John Schnatter said, yeah, Roger Goodell's a coward. We all know that. Jerry Jones, Dan Snyder told me to fucking try to get him fired because I was the #1 commercial guy and Peyton Manning was beloved and so was I. Hey, Papa, you remember? Yeah. Jerry Jones and Snyder told me, hey, we got to get this fucking guy out of here. He just said that. And we missed it somehow. Florio found it. We got to talk about that and more on the other side. We'll see you in 4. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Monday, May 9th. We're up to something big. Hey, we're announcing something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. Today's a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. You know, whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back. Stinks here, huh? What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we are currently in. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. You know, growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else. Man, there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is. This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season, by the way, dude. I said, if I ever get a chance, I'm going to try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in Plum. I'm going to give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm going to give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm going to give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm going to give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're going to have $2 million in this fund that'll just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from there. Sweet stuff for sports. Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about. Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool. All right, Narati, like the Indy. You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go. Hey, welcome back. Just had a little burp.
Oh, no.
All right.
Didn't want to do it in the microphone. Don't want to do it in people's ears, but that one came from way down south there.
Oh.
That one cooked. Oh, what are you doing? We're coming back live on air, and then bang, right before we got live. So I apologize for that. What's that?
How was the Rhode Island food?
I had some chicken thighs.
Some clam chowder.
No clam chowder. I didn't have any clam chowder. I think it was there, though.
I like chicken thighs.
Yeah, me too. I love chicken thighs. Probably my favorite. We doing thighs now. I think is what Rick Ross said
lot of
whenever
people
there's a
love it.
wing shortage.
Yeah.
When there was a wing shortage, a wing stop.
Yeah, we did.
They were delicious. They were very good.
No clam chowder, though.
No, I didn't have any clam chowder. They had these, what's Golden Graham cereal?
Crackers?
Oh, yeah.
You know those things?
Yeah, quite delicious.
They had these little square Golden Graham
Oh, yeah.
treat things.
Been there.
Catering was a hell of a walk, and I will tell you, it was lucky that it was, because I would have had 14, 15 of those things last night if I could. But it was just too far. I couldn't get to it in the amount of time that I needed to eat it. It was unbelievable. Rhode Island was good last night.
Oh, yeah. Rhode Island's awesome.
Arena, backstage.
Yeah,
but
that could get that.
That's the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
What about the long?
What is the high school, or what is the hockey team that plays there?
Providence?
Providence has a hockey team?
Friars.
Yeah, our AHL team's a Providence Bruins, so I think that
Probably play
Baby
there.
bees.
The Baby Bees.
the baby bees. But
The
we're not-
Baby Bees stink as bad as the adult bees?
Oh, probably not, because the adult bees are all the way back, baby. 2-2.
You guys are losing to COVID still.
No.
Yeah, true.
I didn't want to hear it.
Hey, that's actually a great point. We had our best defenseman out, and we still won 5-2.
Your best defenseman's losing to something that's dead.
No. He's already back. Everyone's saying tomorrow night he's locked.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's back.
Hey, hockey's happening.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of 2-2, 2-1 series. Good playoffs so far.
Hockey's doing great. NBA good playoffs.
Yeah.
NHL good playoffs. I mean, we got really good sport. F1, Kentucky Derby. Congrats to Dick Strike. Hey, Rich Strike, 80-1 odds. Obviously, everybody's excited about that. Some people who knew that Dick Strike even existed bet on it. Some people who just like long shots bet on it and made huge money, screenshotted their bets and put it on the internet and said, I knew. And for at least another couple months or so, they can act like they know horses better than anybody else. I didn't hear this horse's name one time when I heard TVG Mike speak or TVG Bruce speak.
Right.
I haven't heard one single Dick Strike mention at all. And then all of a sudden, maybe my new favorite horse. This thing comes from behind, gets wide open, then starts biting the human and the other horse that's trying to crowd. I'm a fucking wild stallion. I just won the Derby. Let me celebrate. Why are you guys trying to tell me what to do right now? Gnawing on a shin, gnawing on a calf, biting the neck of another horse. Dick Strike is electrifying. I don't know what happened to old Dick to become 80-1 odds. I don't know what it's done before, but I'll tell you what. If you want an asshole that's ready to go and has a chip on its big-ass horse shoulders, fucking Dick Strike's your pony. And I can't believe I didn't know about that horse earlier.
Did you hear how much it was going for? Like, I guess like
30
2
grand.
months ago. It was-
30 grand.
Yes.
$30,000. Then just won 1.6 million or
I
something.
think we learned basically and definitely from the aftermath that Dick Strike is a fucking dog.
Dog. We thought that was going to be the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
We thought the Cybertruck was going to be the one that was an outlaw.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cyber Knife.
Yeah, Cybertruck.
Cyber
Right.
Knife.
Way better name, by the
We
way.
thought that one, yeah,
Both
absolutely.
things will never happen.
Oh, the Cybertruck. Where is it?
Well, I don't know.
This is starting to become like a Bronco
Zito
thing.
paid
Yeah, it
full
is.
price for his like
No,
3 years
I
ago.
paid
so-
$100 down payment, and they keep sending me emails. Oh, next year it'll be ready.
That's sweet. You're never getting that $100 back.
No.
They collected a couple bill real quick
Oh my gosh! So
on
fast,
expectations and hopes. What a good. Hey, Elon's about to do that to Twitter.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
go,
So I
Elon.
kind of bought Twitter too.
Maybe he.
Hey, what's Elon tweeting out that, hey, if I die,
What?
it was nice knowing you.
Yeah, there's a...
Elon Musk, owner of Twitter.
Oh, no.
One of the world's richest men. No longer. He got rid of a lot of money, so he's
Right.
no longer the richest man, I don't think, in America, in the world. Close still, even after spending $46 billion or whatever. He put out a tweet that said, hey, if I die, it was nice knowing you, or something like that. It was like, what is he thinking? And then all of a sudden, he ends up on the Russian hit list, basically.
Yes.
Because he dropped a Starlink into Ukraine, and Vladimir Putin said, fucking kill him. And that's allegedly what's going on right now in the world. And that's crazy that is happening right now as we talk gibberish about sports.
Yeah, stay safe, Elon.
Real time, he is still the richest.
even after the purchase, or they not?
The Forbes website, Real Time Billionaires. He's got 255 right now, and then second is Bezos, I believe, 140.
Oh, so he's way up there.
Bezos
He can buy another Twitter.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
he can
Bezos'
buy another. Bezos lost his
wife-
fastball.
I think
Whoa.
Bezos' wife may have got a
the
bunch
divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was only like 50, I think. If he did them, I think it was only 50. But then he got comfortable.
Right.
He's been on a
By
lot.
the way, only 50 billion.
He's been spending a lot of time on yachts and a lot of money on those yachts, I think.
And he's also
He's
spent
yeah.
a lot of time in the
Fucking
gym.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Yeah.
No.
Well-
You think he's doing the same sandwiches everybody else
No,
is?
No,
I
no,
assume
I'm
it's
talking
baby sandwiches or
submarine
something.
sandwiches.
Anyways, Elon's exact tweet were, if I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. That got retweeted 170,000 times. I think 171,000.2 retweets altogether with quote tweets involved there. The whole world's like, everybody keep an eye on our fucking alien Elon. All right? They want him dead. It's crazy times.
It's crazy to think that like now has he reached that point where like now he does have to have someone like check all of his meals,
Yes.
like taking a bite beforehand. Like that, I would imagine if he's putting it out there, then he's pretty paranoid that something is imminent.
Oh,
I wonder why they want to go to space.
Dude, he's, well,
Safer up there.
that hotel.
Yeah,
we
be
were talking-
careful.
Who's building it? What?
Don't go to that hotel.
No, I think that's where everybody's heading to.
That's the
Can't
Ritz.
do that.
The Ritz of space.
That's how they're going to die. He's
No.
either going to be hanging from a doorknob or he's going to be
Can't
fucking
hang with
in
no gravity,
space. And a little piece of speck of dust is going to hit that fucking hotel and it's going to go up in flames.
I don't know if that's how they're going to kill Elon, dude.
No, they'll just turn off the
Elon,
gravity.
Now's not the time, okay? You just bought Twitter. Need you to stay safe.
Yeah. Need you. Hunker down.
Maybe he just wanted 170,000 retweets.
Yeah, maybe he's just doing Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, let's try a little action here. If I die, see ya. Love you. Bye.
Bored today.
All right, let's drive this thing up. I'm going to sell this for $56 million. Let's go to the phones. Oh, no, we got to talk about this Jerry Jones stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it's Jerry Jones stuff because he's involved. And the thought of his voice saying the things that John Schnatter said that he said is awesome because he has that Texas, Arkansas accent that just kind of, like, we got to fucking get rid of Roger Goodell. Who do they call? Dan Snyder and Jerry Jones are on a phone call together. Hey, Dan, how's it going? We got to get rid of this fucking problem that's Roger Goodell. Who do we call? Fucking Papa John.
We need Papa.
Get Schneider on the phone.
Allegedly, what had happened was, and this is via the Fearless with Jason Whitlock podcast, allegedly what had happened was John Snyder told Jason Whitlock openly in a podcast, just casually in conversation, we all know Roger Goodell's a coward, all right? Jason Whitlock probably said, yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, okay. So we're just talking freely as if we're in a kitchen or in a living room or something like that. Yeah, Roger Goodell, he's a fucking coward. We all know that. Then Jerry Jones, Dan Snyder, and the CEO of Pepsi at the time, I forget the name. This is 100% on me, but when you see the name, I might be forgiven by people for forgetting the name. Okay. So I do feel bad, but it was somebody else who was the CEO of Pepsi. So it was like Indra Nooyi, former CEO with Pepsi Company, Jerry Jones of the owner of the Cowboys, and Dan Snyder of Cowboys. And by the way, he even says Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, just so anybody didn't think it was some other fucking Jerry Jones.
Right.
This ain't Jerry Jones for Subway down the street. Snyder and Jones hate Goodell, Schnatter said. I said, no, this is not my job to fire your commissioner. He works for you. Remember, Goodell is a coward, and he is incompetent. John Schnatter says, just casually. And he's just lucky. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, he says to Jason Whitlock, I know who Jerry Jones is. Indra Nooyi with Pepsi Company and Dan Snyder all called me. Several other folks about Goodell's conduct and the way he was handling this. This was the national anthem and everything that was going on at that time as ratings were. Jones and Dan Snyder wanted Goodell fired. This is like 1st of November, end of October. They called and said, you need to take this guy out. You're the #1 sponsor of the league. As far as notoriety and acceptance and association, everybody loves you. They love Peyton. We hate Goodell. How much of this is real? How much of this was like connotation? How much of this is direct quotes? Because you can have a conversation with somebody and what you say and they hear could be vastly different, but the messaging might be the same. So who knows what was actually said, what wasn't said? Sounds like there was certainly a little bit of conversation between two of the most powerful owners in the NFL at the time, talking to the biggest sponsor of the NFL on trying to move the commissioner out. Follow up. everybody says that Roger Goodell and Dan Snyder are boys. That's how Dan Snyder has survived all of the PR blunders and terrible things that have happened under his watch with the Washington football team, now known as they are Commanders. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well,
And he always gets by, and people are like, how's it doing? And everybody on the internet always goes, well, he's Roger Goodell's boy. He's Roger Goodell's boy. He's Roger Goodell's boy. Whenever I understand how the NFL operates, it's always like Jerry Jones is doing a business. Like Jerry Jones is a mover. Jerry Jones is a shaker. So you just assume Jerry Jones, Roger Goodell, they're boys. I think that's the biggest takeaway here is like maybe Roger Goodell is not in good favor with a lot of the people that we assume he's in good favor. And he makes $60 million a year. And his contract is up here in a couple years. I assumed that was going to be automatically extended if Roger Goodell wanted to. Yeah. They're going to be looking to move on from him. They're trying to do it in a clean way. Potentially, if what Papa John Schnatter, who has said very dumb things and wrong things in the past, said on a podcast, Fearless, with Jason Whitlock, that's fascinating and interesting stuff. That is normally turmoil that you never hear outside of that one per club meeting they were talking to Jim Irsay about, other than Jim Irsay telling a story about like, yeah, I had to ask a guy, are you going to fuck us or not? What's he going to do? Is he going to pull out an AK-47 and shoot me right there? Like in those walls, in one per club meetings, that's where all the disagreements always remain. Now, via Papa John's, you know, it's potentially leaking out. There's no way anybody at the NFL likes this, and I wonder what Commissioner Goodell thinks immediately after hearing that podcast.
Maybe that's why Dan does the things that he does, is because he thinks that Goodell doesn't have the spine to fucking remove him from his position or whatever. And do you think Indra was involved? Is Pepsi like the second biggest sponsor? So she said, hey, I'm in. If Papa's in too, we could get this done.
So Indra, definitely a woman?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I didn't want to, just with what you just did there, I didn't want to assume anything.
She looks really nice too. She doesn't seem like she'd want the commissioner fired.
Well, I think she was in there just because Jerry said, hey, we might be making a move that affects your money as well. I know you got the Pepsi halftime show. We're thinking right before they're fucking get Goodell out. They moved on, right? They no longer have the halftime show.
No.
I don't think so.
I wonder if this was the beginning of the planting of the seeds of Pepsi getting out of bed with the NFL, because they got Jerry Jones, I believe, the most popular and over owner in the NFL, telling her about how they're trying to fucking fire the commissioner from outside in. And how about Papa John saying, I'm not firing your guys as commissioner. I mean, this is your literal job. What an interesting situation. I hope Jerry's not going to respond. Nobody's going to respond to this.
No way.
They're just going to move along like nothing happened. But Commissioner Goodell, when he sits in that leather chair and he's got his peanut M&Ms and he's down in his basement, it looks like it's like 200 square feet or whatever. He makes $60 million a year.
Yep.
He's going to toss that peanut M&M. Those motherfuckers. He's going to think about this. But I guess he's dealt with shit like this literally the entire time being there.
Well, and I assume it's a little bit easier because everyone just kind of like, oh, Papa John's a fucking wacko. Like, whatever this guy says, like, who gives a shit? He was talking about, him taking 18 months to right his wrongs and get certain words out of his vocabulary. But you did mention...
I forgot all about
Yeah, exactly. So you hear that and then him saying...
I've been working.
Yeah, listen, the last 18 months I have really, went back in my vocabulary.
Yeah, squash this thing.
But the $60 million part, that kind of does make sense. Like Jerry would like to find a commissioner potentially who they don't have to pay $64 million.
I would like to warn Jerry. This is all allegedly, by the way, and it's coming from that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy on the right there, who I took a photo with him one time, and he put, just like he's doing to Jerry right there, he put his fist into my sternum.
That's his move.
I think that is his move. And he had a T-shirt on. Probably had a good flex on at that time. Yeah. This was at the beginning of his come up. This is when the "Hey Papa" commercials were happening, and he was throwing the
deep
ball.
balls. Yeah.
So he was on his way out of an event that I should not have been at, but I was invited to somehow because I can drink beers good. He's walking out of there. He's on his way out. "Hey Papa!" He turns around. Big pop out of the people. Not at John.
Right, of course.
Not at John. I say, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" Puts his fist directly into my sternum. I was like, "Is he pissed?" Turns out that's just his move.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that. It's like the Gary V or the Triple H. That's his thing. Let me let you feel what's fucking behind this.
Gary V might not be. Huh?
Yeah, Gary might be in the spot right now. With
What?
That one business going
down.
down. NFT is crashing.
Gary knew that was coming. I heard him talk about it.
Yeah.
You're right. He's still
ahead of the curve.
selling at Happy Alligator.
All right, we're back in about Entrepreneur the Elf, you fucking asshole.
Come on,
we're
Tony.
back in 6 minutes. Jesus. That's a great way to end now. Serious people are listening to that. What are they talking about? Got some truck driver driving across the middle of America, listening to us on Sirius. I appreciate the hell out of them, and we need them. And you go, hey, NFT, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, NFTs are crashing right now.
Yeah, big time.
Now, I don't know if that's an overall look at from like the beginning when NFTs were insane, bonkers, or if it's like week to week. Is it crashing like today as opposed to yesterday, or is it as a grand zoom out 30,000 foot view thing?
To be honest, I'm not completely sure. I just saw the headline and was fucking super pumped about it, so I sent it in.
Yeah, because Tone Diggs is not in the NFT game.
No,
because
Now he wants fungible things.
Exactly.
Right.
Listen, he wants the FT.
Thank you.
Get the N out of FT.
Yeah,
NFT.
I can use a GIF for free, right on Giphy.
Yeah, and we're too dumb.
Yes.
I think that is why. But I have been very bullish on my lack of ability to understand why those things matter. I don't get. I've had some some people that are all in on these things explain them to me, and I'm happy for how passionate they are and the amount of money that some people are making and spending on that entire thing. It must have a very solid future and outcome, but I'm too dumb to understand it. And I think that has been something I've done my entire life. Hey, you want to invest in these stocks? How's it work? Well, if the reputation of the company, if the quarterly calls and the trends, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I don't know. Do I know anybody that works at that place? No, but they are historically a very good blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I would like to meet the person that's making the decision. Well, it's a board that is headed by this person. Who's that? Is that person a smart person? What do we think? Obviously, he's a smart person. I don't fucking believe it. I'm going to buy a wrestling ring. Mm-hmm. So
Makes sense.
Instead of investing in that, I'll buy I would like that. I'm going to buy another house. Wasn't supposed to buy my last house. Going to buy this house. And then I'm going to buy a car. And then I'm going to enjoy that. The money on that is going to devalue so quickly. That is going to go into absolute nothing. But I'm going to take on a trip or two, so I'm at least enjoy it. So I'm not saying that NFTs aren't the exact same bucket of brain as stocks in my eyes, but pretty much. I don't know enough about it. I don't know who's in control of it, who decides what is worth more and what is worth less. That's like Bitcoin. Obviously, have to get some Bitcoin because there's a chance this thing could go and you never get a chance to be at the beginning of something. So in the Bitcoin game, a little bit, enjoy the thought of what it could be. Who controls when it goes up and down? It's just like the stock market, although this is independent, it's not regulated. Who controls it? I'm too dumb. I know there's people out there that do understand it. I think I've watched their videos. I've tried to understand it. I don't. I have no idea. So for me, I'm a simpleton. I'm a very basic human. Well, I'm not going to put my money in it. I don't really know what that is. No. But I'm happy for everybody that loves it. And I hope everybody makes $1 billion.
Well, you look at like NBA Top Shot. Like that was like the hottest thing, however, and then it just like died overnight. Like and no one cared anymore.
They still got the Zion dog.
Still got the Zion dog.
And also when the NFL decided that they weren't, because I figured, they'll have like you'll be able to buy like a Patrick Mahomes touchdown pass or whatever. And like last season, I figured they'd got with the success of Top Shot when they were like, nah, we're not fucking doing that. I was like, all right, well maybe.
We're too dumb though. Nah, not you. Ty's smart, right?
Yeah, he's smart.
Ty's a smart one.
And I don't get even the player cards. That doesn't make sense to me either. And like the Pokemon cards.
Well, and like the Bored Ape stuff too. That people are just paying like millions and millions of dollars.
Hey, I was in a Bored Ape spaces on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I was in one, talking, asking questions, listening to updates on how things are going. Brandon McManus is big in the Bored Ape community. I believe Mitt has his ape as his
IG.
As his IG.
Oh yeah, still he's
seems like a great thing. It's just art, right? Just art. So the value's going to go up and down whenever the artist passes away or does less art. Because like Bob Ross, to me, I'd pay a lot more for that particular painting than who's Picasso.
Yeah.
Personally, but Bob Ross has 10 million paintings, and there's only a few of those. So that's probably how the entire internet art works.
Well, Pablo was also kind of a fraud because I thought he was like one of the old school Renaissance guys. He was like alive in like 1980, so that was a thing. And I also
I don't think that's true.
No
Pablo,
way.
go check.
I feel like this has happened probably 5 or 6 times on the show that we've heard that information and done this exact same. That didn't happen. He died in the 1400s.
Yeah,
right.
Dude, Picasso,
He was on the
Sun Tzu.
Jesus
Funeral, same time.
Christ. Yeah. Da Vinci.
Picasso died in the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So-
you're shitting me.
I mean,
So he's Bob Ross.
yeah,
Same
probably
amount of
best-
pedigree.
Probably best friends.
Jeez Louise.
But also, if Mitt's super into and he thinks that's a good investment, maybe stay away.
I think
Mitt does shoes, sneakers.
Yeah.
Those are, by the way, sneakers,
Well, yeah.
fungible, real things.
That's right.
That I feel like that market is always going to be.
That's
good.
actually Mitt's ape. I thought he just took a screenshot of somebody's.
Well, that's also the problem
He might have.
with NFTs that
Yeah.
I've
Screenshot.
pointed out a couple times, and I don't know how anybody else has the answer. Like, What if somebody just puts a picture of it and puts it on their wall? Isn't it theirs now?
Well, that's the risk you run, you know. I mean, it's
You gotta hook people aren't scumbags. It's like people are.
Yeah, makes no sense.
All right, I'm gonna go. Let's get to a break. We got about a minute until we're back for hour 2. AJ Hawk will join us also in this hour. Darius Butler and his F1 experience and all things happening football. We'll see you in a minute. Oh my God, it's long. It's very long. Yeah, Smart. It's smart. That's very smart.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Monday, May 9th, hour 2 of this glorious sports show that speaks stupidity into magic shall begin immediately following that sound right there.
Yeah.
Welcome back here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Also live on Sirius, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
The Toxic Table is here looking fantastic. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. How was your guys' weekend?
Pretty good. Hey, and today, weather's turning around. What's not to feel great about?
Yeah, the sun's out here. This is a big day. At Tone Diggs, you look fantastic.
I do.
How was
You
your
look
weekend, bud? How was
Good,
your weekend?
Good. A lot of yard work this weekend. You know, it's that time of year. Get your things done so that you can enjoy the rest of summer.
Yeah, you're a real man.
Hell yeah.
He was posting stories on his IG of all of his, you know, I think he bought some pots with some shrubbery in it and things
Yeah,
like
bought
that.
some. I ripped out a bunch of fucking dead piece of shit bushes and replaced them with new, better looking ones. Let's get the yard looking right.
So I
okay?
just moved into a new, not just, but this is my first spring, summer in this new
Late
house.
summer.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting watching everybody fly by. It's very nice. I got a house on a lake like an hour and a half north of
Correct.
Indianapolis. So it's starting to get active, you know, here. It's getting active during the Mother's Day weekend. And as the sun is starting to shine.
How is Lake Michigan?
You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a little bit of a haul every single morning in here to the show,
Yeah?
especially after like last night getting home late after Wrestlemania Backlash. But my neighbor has a tree that is despicable.
Oh no.
This tree it drops shit all like little
Helicopters.
No, not helicopters. These little beady looking fucking things. It's like 4 or 5 beads. It's just all over the entire backyard or back area. And I'm looking, the trunk of the tree is in their yard, but that thing grows right on top of my thing, and it's just shitting and dumping all these beads in our entire back area. And is that just a spring thing? Is this going to be all summer? And what happens if I just saw that thing down?
Well, if it's grown into your yard, it's 50-50, so you can go out there and cut the top half of it off.
Is that real? I don't know if you're telling the truth.
I don't think so, but I mean, you
I
could.
thought it was trunk because
it's
let me
like-
tell you why. When I was at my last house and I moved in, and every tree on the property decided it was time to die then.
Right.
And they were just falling all over the place. Everybody pointed back to where the trunk was planted into. Oh, this is technically your tree. And every one of them was my tree. It was unbelievable. Had so much lumber, so many fences to fix, so many backyards to figure out. I don't think I'm allowed to do that to the neighbor's tree.
But I
don't
mean,
think
that's
so.
the best of both worlds, right? You don't get any of the shit in your yard. He still gets the stump of the tree about halfway up in his yard, and it'll probably never grow back while you're still living there. I mean, I feel like everyone wins.
Can I just substitute that tree for like a pine tree? Just go ahead and sub that one
Love
out.
a good pine.
Yeah,
Is
aren't
that a
they?
good pitch?
Get a Georgia pine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it's like airspace. Like if it's above your house, you know, it's airspace. Your
Tell them,
airspace.
hey, boss, I'll pay for that tree to be cut down, or I'll even get you a new tree if that works for you. Just get
that's-
this one the fuck out of here.
That's good. They were having a block party, I guess, outside up on the street.
People love their trees, man. Take years to grow those things.
There's no way these people were nurturing this fucking tree. I mean,
you
there's
never
no.
know.
This tree's 150 years old.
That's my point.
I almost feel terrible. I almost want to build a net around the fucking thing, like the suicide nets they have around buildings, so
Yeah.
those things won't hit the back. But it's going to become an issue. I'm learning about the new property. They had a block party last night while I was not home. I guess guess it was right outside of our house. The dogs for 2-3 hours barking.
Nice.
Sound like a great time. I got a couple FaceTimes from the block party that was happening outside. Looks like a friendly group of people.
Sure.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know any of them because, it's kind of been cold. We've been locked down, but I can't wait to meet everybody and maybe put a new tree in there for the neighbors. Joining us now is a man who is the head of his HOA.
Sure.
Yeah.
He runs the Homeowners Association, not only of the Hawk House, but the Hawk Compound, which has 5 other houses.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of Columbus, this Ohio State legend has staked a flag and said, this is my land now. He will never leave. He drives with 2 feet. He falls asleep while he's driving, has mangled fingers, wakes up every single morning and works out. Then he flexes his college football national championship ring, his Super Bowl championship ring, his Ryder Cup championship ring, and his COVID survivor necklace. Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute champion of champions, AJ Hawk. What's going on, AJ?
What's up, guys? Appreciate the great intro there. I think you can technically trim the limbs off of your property, and if the guy is sensitive to that, because I think Evie is right, people are really weird about trees. You have to just slowly poison it, and hopefully it dies within the next 3 to 5 years.
Like Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
So then it can't
Rusty
trace it to
nail.
you.
Okay, so how do I do that? I just put water, like bad shit into the ground? I inject it with stuff?
Isn't it just a rusty
I don't
nail?
know.
And that kills the tree? Isn't that what that guy did in Bama or Auburn or whatever?
I think it depends on the tree.
This tree looks tough. I mean, it's dumping all over my pool. This tree is talking shit.
Aren't these people old and senile? Can't you just cut it down and they won't even know?
Listen, I have not met them yet. I do not know their ages.
Okay.
I don't think they live there full time, though. I believe that is a destination place they travel to during the...
That changes things too.
You think it's good or bad?
I think it's good.
Good.
Yeah. They probably don't care about the tree as much.
Yeah.
So this says you can drill some holes around the tree and pour some Roundup, a very small amount of Roundup in there. And
You got to do that in the cloak of darkness.
within year
I'm not doing
year
that.
to 3.
I'm not doing that. I'm going to wait and see if this thing dies with the spring. Nick, we don't need it yet. All right, we'll send in SEAL Team Nick whenever. Okay, when things get a little bit too crazy in the summer. AJ, great to see you. How was your weekend? I hope you celebrated Mother's Day properly. You were a week ahead of time.
Yeah, I was a week ahead. It was great to be prepared, but yeah, Mother's Day went off without a hitch around here.
Okay, awesome. I know you watch Wrestlemania Backlash. This is the
All of
first.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I worked the last 3 matches. I watched the entire thing too. I was very lucky to be there. The thought though, AJ, that the Kentucky Derby happened, an F1 race happened, the NHL playoffs are happening, the NBA playoffs are happening. Michael Chandler punted a guy's head off, and Canelo lost, and WrestleMania Backlash. I mean, what a weekend! This was a fucking packed weekend, AJ Hawk.
What was your top thing then from the whole, other than WrestleMania Backlash? What was your top event that was like? You're right. There's a lot of high flying things going on this weekend.
So fascinating. So the F1 was just so peculiar to me because what I had heard about that place, it turned out to be 100% true. Like my thoughts were like, oh, it's just where all the super rich people and famous people all hang out and spend a lot of money and make a lot of money and race cars. That's exactly what the F1 event was in Miami. We'll be talking to Darius Butler in like 6 minutes, who was down and around all the festivities all weekend. That place looked amazing and awesome. Then Dick Strike. I mean, I didn't hear that name one time. I heard Taiba and Cyberknife. Secret Oath, by the way, did get a win.
Secret Oath,
TVG
nice.
Mike has a winner on record here on this show, which is great. But Dick Strike winning is awesome. That's only... the whole coverage all day, fascinating. They had Dale Earnhardt Jr. clap for a guy riding a fake horse. And I'm like, what are we doing with fucking Jr.?
I missed that one. What happened there?
I don't know. Who's the other guy with curly hair? He has a great voice. He covers horse racing. He must be the local aficionado. Always has a loud suit on. He's in the coverage all day. Seems to be a pretty cool guy. Seems to have a good time. But they were doing a bucket list around Churchill Downs. And one of them, I think he was on and literally it was as I turned on I videoed it, I almost put it on the internet, but I didn't think Junior deserved it. So it was as soon as I turned on the coverage, because they have 6 hours worth of coverage all day or whatever, covering the entire day from the Downs or whatever. Didn't get Drewski on there enough, I didn't think. I could have got Drewski or Jack Harlow on there a little bit more.
Yeah, what's that about?
And the boys. But as soon as I turned it on, he was riding a wooden horse, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. was clapping for him next to it, and then he went into a commercial break, and I'm like, I'm not fucking Junior. Can we not have Junior doing that? You know what I mean? Like, if that horse is fake racing, then I would like, if we're having a fake race, I want fucking Junior on a goddamn horse.
Yeah, that's right. Get him on the Mountain Dew horse.
That's what I'm talking about. Even the fake one, whichever one he wants to get on. But that guy, I didn't know who he was. So The coverage was fascinating to me. I thought that was very interesting. It looks like a blast down there. You go every year. This is your first year not going. How do you feel about it?
No, it's not my first year not going, but yeah, I've gone 6 or 7 times, I would say. I got back, we watched, I didn't watch a lot of the lead up to the show, I guess, to the race. I heard the race is going on about 7, so I turned it on 6:45 or so, and what a story, man. My favorite part was that jockey had 6 races the day before in Cincinnati at Belterra, a place that's not too far from where I grew up, and he only won one of the 6 races.
Yeah, well, it's just all about the horse. If Dick Strike was on the Belterra tracks, probably going to win.
Mm-hmm.
This horse, I don't know what it was doing before showtime. I don't know why it was 80-1. I don't know how it had performed. I should have done more research. This thing's biting dudes and horses.
That was my favorite part of the whole show.
This is a badass. This is a dog.
Yeah.
Hey, this horse is a dog. Will he race again? I mean, assume that people are going to think
He's trying to get Triple Crown. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't this happen? Like people win and then they test them like a day after.
Oh yeah, and then doing cocaine or something before.
Well, that happened for Bob Baffert, but
bro, Dick Strike was biting horses and people.
Yeah, he was revved up.
It was an 80-1 odds.
Yeah,
people are naturally going to say, "Was there something piped through Dick Strike's blood?"
You think he had a runny nose before the fight and they pretended to put a Kleenex up to it, and then sniffed out of the Kleenex?
I don't know if they're doing coke over there. Is that what they're doing?
That's what Connor just said.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting clip, Diggs.
He's talking about the Amber Heard clip.
Yeah.
What happened?
She went to wipe her nose in the courtroom and
so weird.
It certainly looks like she takes a bumpski out of a Kleenex while she's on the stand.
Kleenex could certainly fit some cocaine.
That's what I was thinking about him talking about the box.
Mm-hmm.
That thing's still going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. I seen the petition trying to get her out of Aquaman.
I believe Nick and Zito have signed it many times.
Yeah, I signed it 45 times.
That's not how it works.
Wait, she's already in the movie, I thought.
That's not how
already filming.
That's not how petitions work. They might be able to just edit her out. You know, you saw what that last fucking studio did to Star Wars.
That's right.
Yeah, they just edit out whole parts of the movie.
Bullshit.
That doesn't even have to make sense. I'm pissed about that.
Yeah.
Still,
Me too.
Still to this day, I'm mad about it.
Did you see the trailer?
Anyways, I don't think Dick Strike was snorting coke out of Kleenexes.
No.
Amber Heard might have been. I'm not sure Dick Strike was. What would be the thing, though, to get all juiced up, right? Wouldn't they just shoot it with some sort of... Not, by the way, I think that's not good. That's not great. But if this was any other sport and somebody that is that big of an underdog ends up being dominant, by the way, catching up and being dominant and then starts biting humans and other players and things like that, people be like, well, that's not a saying horse right there.
No. Maybe bath salts.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
smoking some spice.
See, I assumed the guy who worked for Churchill Downs, who Dick Strike bit, was like Sean William Scott in Old School, like before went in the stable and was like, motherfucker, and was like, grabbing his thing. So
yeah,
he was
80-1. This you ain't never gonna be nothing.
Exactly. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna win, and then I'm gonna try to bite this fucking guy's arm off. I'm gonna find him and bite his arm off.
Yeah, his legs. Well,
yeah.
You think the guy was yelling, "Act like you fucking been here before"? And Rich Strike was.
I haven't.
I have not.
I
Sorry.
have not. This is new norm for me, but I enjoyed that. The James Harden's back is cool. I think that's good news. We'll talk to Q Rich in the third hour about that. Host of the Knuckleheads podcast. He was on He was on First Take, I believe.
Yeah, last week.
Last week, killed it.
Yeah, crushed.
Done good. He always is good for conversation. The NBA's taken off. Lil Wayne called Luka a hoe.
Not good.
In a negative way?
Well, yes.
Come on, AJ.
You never know, man. I don't know. I mean, Luka's a monster.
I think you do.
What do you have bad to say about him?
I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong here, but I think anytime somebody Luka a hoe, I think that's not good. I believe.
Just trying to clarify. You never know.
Joining us now is a man who might be able to clarify it a little bit better for us. He is an F1 super fan. Was around all the festivities this weekend, although we did not see him in the photo with Michael Jordan, Lewis Hamilton, David Beckham, and Tom Brady. He was right next to them. Kind of fucked up that they edited him out of it.
Yeah, what the hell?
Unbelievable. This dude, never a hoe. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, host of the Man to Man podcast, friend of the show, and chugged so many beers 2 weeks ago. Darius Butler.
What's good? What's good?
Hey, you look fantastic. You're recovered. It took me a few days. Dude.
Man, you and me both. I got back on the horse, though. I'm back already.
Missed your flight.
Don't quit me. Ain't no hoe in my blood, baby.
Hey, there it is. Okay, Luka a hoe is not a compliment from Lil Wayne. Not at all. Why is that? Why do you call him a hoe?
I think him and Chris Paul are pretty tight. I think they go back a long way. I know Luka got Chris Paul fouled out, did a lot of flopping. Chris Paul does a lot of flopping himself. So I think it probably had something to do with that. But that was strong coming from Wayne. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, a lot of retweets. And Luka probably heads back and goes, oh, fucking Lil Wayne. Shit. Call me a hoe. What is this all about? I saw a video of Kevin Durant of the type of gymnasiums that Luka and Joker grew up playing in with like flamethrowers, basically.
Flares.
And flares. And
Flares, that shit was crazy.
Hey, those dudes aren't bothered by nothing. Those dudes don't give a damn about anything over there. I wonder how it'll react to Lil Wayne. Let's move on, though. You were at the F1 event. It appeared as if it was the most amazing event of all time. Is that what it was down there? Did Miami kill it? And will it be back every single year now?
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was, everybody was excited about it. It pretty much had a Super Bowl vibe to it, and that's basically what F1 does. They go from city to city around the world. This was obviously the first one in Miami. Everybody loves Miami, loves to find a reason to get here. Nice. And I know it's a 10-year commitment down here. They got one in Austin, and then next year in Vegas they'll have one as well. But, you saw the report, you saw the tweet. Stephen Ross made as much, this weekend as he will all season hosting NFL games. So I'm sure other owners, other cities will be jumping up to try to bid and get their city on the schedule as well. But it was crazy. It was dope. Obviously, a lot more fans are getting into it. I'm sure half the people there, it was probably their first time ever going to a car racing event. But it was dope. The whole weekend was exciting.
Debo, what is it like, honestly, for somebody that doesn't know anything about F1? I know Netflix had the series and it took off and everything. What was the day like? How long was the race, and what did you do the whole time?
I mean, the race probably like an hour and a half from start to finish.
Did you watch any of it? A lot of those cool events, you end up going and you don't watch 1 ounce of whatever the sporting event is because
he's talking about the Derby, and he's always blacked out on cigars.
Golf tournament, same thing happens.
Absolutely. I mean, it depends on the vibe. The place I went to, obviously, you see me, I'm decked out in McLaren. McLaren had a shitty weekend on the track. But they show hospitality. I was a free agent going into this thing, so I signed a one-race deal with McLaren. But yeah, it depends on where you're watching it. It was in the McLaren race house, so the hospitality was great. Food, drinks, TV, people just talking. So you don't watch the whole race. You're not glued to the track. And obviously it's a big ass track, so they're going, all around. But as it gets close, when there is an accident, regardless of whatever lead the lead racer has, all the cars get grouped back together, and that made it more exciting. But the one bad thing about the race, I would say, is going into it, there is no Rich Strike, there is no Dick Strike who's going to make an upset. Like, you kind of know 1, 2, maybe 3 teams or drivers going to win it. So Max Verstappen won it again. It's 3rd race of the season. Every race that he's finished, he's won. And every race that he didn't win, Charles Leclerc from Ferrari won it. But it was exciting, man. The fans were into it. All the celebs, obviously. The real F1 fans, though, it was a little too much for them. You know how we do it in America. We're going to throw some extra shit on it to put our little sauce on it. But it was fun. It was exciting.
We do that to everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything. We can't help ourselves. We did it to hockey. Look, we created the NHL. You're welcome. You're welcome. We did that entire thing. Wait until the next time F1 comes back to America. Oh, you thought it was bad that first time. Now we got a blueprint of what we can add on.
Now Vegas, they got to outdo Miami.
Oh,
it's going to be huge.
Chris Angel is going to be coming down from the McLaren house right into the Lambo house, right over to the Rolex place.
And then 1 second later, he's going to be driving a car on the track.
He's winning.
Yeah.
He's somehow in the lead. Holy fuck, Chris Angel did it. Anyways, I don't want to dive into why the same people probably win, because it's probably the most amount of money invested in the engineers and the car and everything like that, which is like, I think, Indy car. But let's talk. Did you talk to any of them about the growth that they have felt? And is everybody else interested because of the documentary or the series on Netflix? Did they feel like that was legitimately the game changer for them? Because I'd always heard about F1 because IndyCar's here. It's like, the European one where all the big money is. But now it feels like there is genuine interest from fucking everybody in America. That's not easy to do at all.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix, obviously we know how powerful media is. So Liberty Media, U.S. company, bought F1 back in 2016 for like $4.5 billion, and they made an investment with the Netflix docuseries, 4 years of the Drive to Survive. and that just got renewed for season 5 and 6. But that just brought a crazy influx of viewers and engagement into the sport, and now they want to. Obviously, they saw the untapped potential in the U.S. market. So it's going to continue to grow. But this has been huge, worldwide, internationally. Obviously, they'll be in Barcelona in like 12 days doing it all over again. So it's really crazy. It's like a Super Bowl. It's kind of like the WWE. You pack up and you do another show in the next city the next week. So they'll be back on it. So you basically, and then Miami, you're hosting it for 10 years now. So if you're Stephen Ross, you're basically hosting the Super Bowl 10 years in a row. So I'm sure other owners, other people with money are going to be like Charlotte, for instance. The Panthers, Charlotte's obviously a huge racing city, Carolinas. So I'm sure they'll probably try to get it in as well. So it's crazy, but the growth has been crazy. And you can definitely tell, the drive to survive fans that got in. The guys who've been, like me, I'm a season 1 through 4 kind of guy, so I'm a little veteran. You kind of got the season 4 crowd, and then you got the guys who've been around it their whole life. So it was interesting, an interesting crowd to be around for the weekend, to say the least. Though. A lot of very, very bougie, wealthy. It's been dominated by that group for a while. So hopefully more people get into it.
Yeah, it was certainly fascinating to watch, and because normally they would just only race in Barcelona.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because normally Barcelona and the likes of Cannes and other cities like that, that is something that would host an F1 racing.
What was that second city?
Cannes.
Where's that?
It's in the south of
Film
France.
Festival?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's in the south of France.
Near Nice.
Well,
It is near Nice.
Right near Nantes.
Right, it is Nantes.
Nantes.
Matt Verstappen's never lost, actually, at Barcelona either.
Well, merci for that information. Anyways, Darius, let's move on to the NFL. I'm happy you had a great weekend, and I'm excited that your fanhood has been paying off.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Go.
You know what I mean?
I got in at the right time.
Well, NFTs are dead. Did you get in at the right time for that or not? I don't want to talk about it.
I never got NFTs, but cryptos, they're getting smacked too. But that's been a long ride. I've been telling guys from the beginning. Long term, man.
Hey, that's right.
Diamond hands.
That's right. Hold.
There's a lot of people.
Hold.
Don't invest your mortgage or your rent money into it. A lot of people going back to jobs that they didn't want to fucking go back to at the diamond hands. So everybody, stay in your lane.
All right. So, financial advice has been at an all-time high all around the internet. We had 15 experts in here at one point on numerous different things that either didn't exist a week beforehand and then probably don't exist now.
Right.
But that's the world we live in. It's awesome. Let's talk about football a little bit here. Richard Sherman said, basically, now, I don't think it was that big of a shot. He kind of backed off the answer a little bit. He left it open-ended. But he talked about how a quarterback with long sleeves and gloves, do I think he's the quarterback of the future? I don't know, Sherman said at Pickett. It's hard for me to trust a quarterback who wears gloves all the time. It's just different. I just have a hard time with it, but he slings it. He's effective, and we'll see how effective he is in Pittsburgh. They do a great job developing guys. They haven't had another quarterback under center starting consistently since Ben Roethlisberger. Ben's been there for 13, 14 years, something like that. And so that'll be interesting. Headline was, he doesn't trust somebody that wears long sleeves and gloves. Full quote, though, kind of like, who the fuck knows? Which is kind of how, this comes from the Richard Sherman podcast, kind of how we have to view everybody that gets drafted, by the way. We have no idea who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. Do you think Kenny Pickett's, entire glove, long sleeve, it's been a conversation by a lot of people saying that ain't my type of quarterback. Kurt Warner had success, though.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning had success at the end of his career. Teddy Two Gloves almost had an MVP before he got injured with two gloves. Is it just such an anomaly we don't see it as much? It's not as respected, or is there something to it, you think, D-Bud?
I don't really think it's anything to it. If Pickett was going from, California to Pittsburgh, it may be something to it, but the guy's been playing in the same city for the last, 3-4 years. So him staying in the same, if that's how he gets by, he was good enough to be a first round pick. You're going into a stable organization. That's very, very important for all players coming in, but especially quarterbacks. You got good receivers, good running back. So I think he'll be all right. And those are the things I kind of focus on. But, guys do focus on, can look at a quarterback like that, sleeves, gloves, little hands. And maybe those are a concern for him. But I'll let his play on the field do his talking. And like I said, the fact that he's in the same city, he's so familiar with the facilities and everything, I think he'll be all right.
Ball looks real big in his hands.
Hey, D-Butts, what do you think of Detroit's draft?
I mean, I think they did a great job. Obviously, you got the kid out of Alabama, Jameson. I'd say on the draft, spectacular. I felt sorry for the kid, but I'm excited for him.
Do you think you set his expectations up for how he should handle this? By the way, did you see those photos of him at his press conference? He did smile at some point. We saw some photos of him smiling.
I don't have them, but he came out and said that was all bullshit. He actually said I partied the night before because I was just drafted in the NFL. My dream came true.
Oh, he's hungover.
Okay. That's what you want. But they got Aiden. They did a great job in the draft. I'm not going to go as far as Dane and say they're closing the gap on the fucking Packers, but they're making the right moves. Obviously, you got a guy in there with MCDC who's got the guys playing hard, but you got to win games. None of that shit matters unless you put it all together and make it win. So I do think they had a good draft, but drafts, don't really mean anything unless you can put it together out there in the field, as everybody on here knows. So it'll be interesting to see. But I'm sure Detroit fans are excited, so I'm happy for you guys too, Foxy.
Jameson Williams made me think about, I think Peter King wrote this article in his Football Morning in America article every single Monday.
Every single Monday.
You read it?
Fuck yeah, come on, I'm a reader.
It's pretty long.
I read a couple quotes out of it for sure, but he said, which is what we've been talking about here for the last few weeks, but hearing him say it, especially getting quotes from the GM, means we're probably onto something because Peter King is plugged. And he was talking about how there's going to become two different philosophies. If you pay a quarterback, you're probably not going to be able to pay an older wide receiver that you kind of groom and bring up. Somebody else is going to pay him. If you don't have to pay a quarterback and they're on a rookie contract, you can get one of those weapons for your rookie that you want. He pointed at the Philadelphia situation where he's talking about A.J. Brown. Tannehill's got a contract, can't pay A.J. Brown a big contract. Jalen Hurts on a rookie contract, can pay A.J. Brown over there. Now, Hollywood goes over to Arizona. They're going to have to pay Kyler. I mean, there's ways to manipulate the salary cap, but this is becoming a thing now where teams are either going to be, hey, we can get young guys that are going to be able to do the job and not have to pay them nearly as much money. And some teams are saying, hey, we're going to go fucking get a guy. D-Butt, as a DB who played corner, nickel, and safety, are there some guys that are just that much different than everybody else? Or are these younger dudes coming in at a much higher level and you think it's going to kind of top off at how many people get paid a lot of money at the wide receiver position going forward?
I mean, situations are situational, and at that position especially, there are definitely some difference makers at that receiver position, but there is such a dependent position, and as a defense, like you can take more times than not, you can take a receiver out of the game pretty much and make somebody else beat you. But so it really depends on what your situation, your quarterback. Because all these guys, a lot of these young guys are coming in and playing well immediately, but a lot of them are not as well. So Jefferson came in, but he had Kirk Cousins quarterback. Jamar Chase, he had his college quarterback. Hollywood Brown, he'll go over there and play with his college quarterback. Devontae, he's back with his. So it's about that continuity. It's about the play call. It's about having an offensive line that can block, a play call that can get them open. So it's so many different variables, especially at that receiver position. So it really depends on your team, your locker room, your quarterback, your philosophy. But a lot of people are falling in love with these college prospects, but that's a tough position to just come in and just play immediately. But some guys are coming in and doing it well. So everybody's trying to, you know how it is. It's a copycat league. So you see a few guys doing like, hey, we could do it too. But it really depends on who you have under center. And out there in Detroit, Jameson Williams, he's with Goff now, but they may stink this year, and he may have his college quarterback next year at the top of the draft.
So it's an interesting thing because you think people are just kind of victims of the moment and kind of overreacting, just assuming all these college guys are going to be great in the NFL. It's not like that. You think we're just kind of had a little bit of a run here of a couple years where some guys, rookies, have been big parts. It's not going to be like that forever, you don't think?
No. I mean, I'm telling you, every situation is different. So you get rid of A.J. Brown in Tennessee. Like A.J. Brown is proven. He's proven to be a decision maker. He was their most viable target by a long shot in Tennessee. And you just ship him out of town because you don't want to pay him, the new going rate. And you bring in a rookie who, is very similar to A.J. Brown.
Same size.
Yeah, very similar. But that's, that we see a lot of college and can't miss prospects come in and stink it up. And then is Tannehill. Is he a force multiplier, as they call him? Is he a guy that's going to make everybody around it better in the pass game?
Force multiplier.
I don't think so. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
That was really good. Force multiplier there. Last question from me before the boys have some. Jarvis
I don't know
Landry.
if that's the right term, but
no, it's yours. Fucking nailed it, dude.
Roman with you, so.
Yeah, dude. That sounds like 1 + 1 = 7 when people are talking about synergy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
1 + 1. You everybody alone that equals 2, but you get them together, it equals 7.
That's right.
I had a soccer coach who gave that speech, and I'll never forget. I don't think that one works. Throw that one out. Can't win with it.
Most speeches, most speeches go down that route.
Yeah. Hey, you're looking at 3 people on the screen right now, I believe, that have been in the NFL for a pretty long period of time that all viewed most speeches in the exact same way. What are we doing here?
I was just going to ask, does anyone like speeches then?
I think you're looking at 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
some
just
people,
you
they got to be
guys.
real, though. They got to be organic and real in the moment. I remember I had a D coordinator or a defensive coach one time in Cincy who brought us all together. We were having a tough, we were just struggling, and we started to like come back. And I remember he got emotional, pulled us all in. He wasn't an emotional guy. He got emotional, telling us like, we're gonna do this, all this. And I was like, yeah, man, like this is. I like gave him a little rock. I'm like, that was sweet, man. I think we might end up winning. But, like, it was real in the moment. Anything.
Was he a guy who barely spoke?
He didn't barely speak, but it was a little bit out of character for him. Like I didn't know he had it in him. And
How many years?
It was cool to see.
How many years you play in the NFL, AJ?
11.
One speech you just said.
Yeah.
You know,
11 years.
For me, it's probably like a hand, maybe like a good 5 to 10, maybe. But it's usually, like AJ said, it's usually from a guy who doesn't speak. Because if it's a guy that's doing it every week, every day in practice, that gets old, that gets stale. But if it's a guy, those kind of sideline, when somebody, you rally the defense or the offense on the sideline, say, hey, let's get our shit together, let's do this, let's do that, or one of those players-only meetings. Things like that. I think those go a long way. But, you're never pros. And most of us can motivate ourselves. You don't really need a guy to talk you up and run through a wall. But, yeah, a lot of those people, that's, it look good on TV. It's good for movies and shit. But for the most part, man, it's like, come on, shut the fuck up.
There's a lot of that. Man, I would never. I mean, there are so many times where somebody starts speaking, and everybody's first thought is to look around and see what everybody else is.
Oh no!
Everybody, come on, this can't happen.
Are we into this? Yeah. Are we liking this?
We're all here. I'm hearing the same thing everybody else is. Right? This is fucking shit.
Wait, is this slam poetry?
Oh no!
Oh, shit.
Hey, that was out of this guy's room.
Yeah, that's on me.
That kid has big balls.
Let's talk. Last question for me. Jarvis Landry, still a free agent. I guess the door is closed on the Browns, allegedly, depending upon if you were.
Was it Mary Kay?
Mary Kay Cabot, who I'm not sure she's covered Cleveland a long time. I don't know if she's hit on anything as of late, though, right? We've covered a couple things that haven't really hit. I don't know if it's happened. She said Pittsburgh Steelers would sign Baker Mayfield tomorrow if he was to be released. Steelers going to draft Kenny Pickett. Maybe they would have, by the way. So maybe Mary Kay was right, although Pittsburgh, Cleveland don't like each other, and she kind of got buried in the middle of that. Nonetheless, she's been covering the Browns. She knows the Browns. Jarvis Landry likely to move on after taking Purdue receiver David Bell in the 3rd round. The Browns are unlikely to re-sign Jarvis Landry. Although Bell can play outside, he'll probably initially work in the slot, which would make Landry expendable. Landry also visited his hometown Saints recently and might still have an opportunity to sign there. Other teams have expressed interest in the 5-time Pro Bowler and could have multiple opportunities in the coming weeks, but it appears the door is closed on a Cleveland return. Now, that is not an inside source. That is not a plug. That is her speculating on the situation with maybe more information than anybody else has who's not plugged in Cleveland. But with that being said, why is anybody signing this dude? When you talk about speeches, he gave one in that wide receiver room a hard loss. It felt like everybody bought into there. He's a guy. Why isn't he signed already if he wants to be, D-Butt? Or do you think he's just taking his time?
Just like we talked about receivers. You draft them, you want to get young. Just like receivers, DBs, that's a position you always want to get cheaper. You want to get younger, especially if you get a guy that can come in and play in the system. Jarvis Landry probably has a price that he wants, going into these teams, and they're probably far apart right now, especially last year. He played a lot of last year injured. And a lot of these people, they don't really care. That's the film you put out. This is your price that we're going to put on you. And if you're coming in the building, those things don't match up. Jarvis probably going to wait it out. I'm sure he signs with somebody, maybe close to training camp, maybe after. Maybe an injury on another team happens. But I would love to have Jarvis Landry in my receiver meeting room. I would love to have him on my team. He is a dog. He plays hard. He brings it, and he's a difference maker when it comes to moving those chains. He has been since coming into the league. And I think he'll continue to be so. So whoever does land him, I think will be lucky. Real smart.
I agree, by the way. Come to the Colts. This just in. The Giants have informed Pro Bowl cornerback James Bradberry that he's being released. As was being reported, Bradberry had a $21.8 million cap hit, and the Giants will save half of that by moving on. He should have a competitive market. What do you know about James Bradberry? He's a Pro Bowler. I don't know if that means he's great or not. Probably very good. It's going to come with a price tag as well. The Giants are moving on. What are your thoughts on this? And are we in a cornerback market right now? Our corners, because JC, we saw JC get signed. Gilly Lock just got signed here. Is there a market for corners right now?
I don't know how much he'll be guaranteed or anything like that, but it's always a market. You're always looking for guys who can cover. You just saw 2 corners get drafted in the top 5, so it's still a premium position. And Bradberry, year before last, had like an all-pro caliber year. Last year, not so much, but he's definitely still young enough. He's physical. He has all the tools you want at the cornerback position. He'll be motivated now, getting cut, still in the prime of his career or getting released, however they worded it. So, yeah, I think a team, you put him in the right system with some other good people in the secondary, some good pass rushers. Bradberry could be a very good piece for a defense. We got Kenny Moore right now. We got, obviously, Gilly Lock, Rodgers. We traded for Faison out of Las Vegas. But, I believe you can't have enough good corners on the team.
Need 6?
So,
what'd you say, 5 or 5?
You need 6 starters in the secondary. That's my philosophy. So whether that's 3 safeties, 3 corners, 4 corners, 2, however you cut it, you need those guys. Somebody's going to go down. Somebody's going to get hurt. Match up. It's a league where you're going to have 3 corners on the league 60-70% of the time anyway. So I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Bradberry in at all.
Yeah, especially with Julian Blackman too.
Oh yeah,
love that guy.
Yeah. But Kenny's got to get paid though. Kenny Moore. We need Kenny to get paid. I need Kenny Moore to get paid. He's Pro Bowl year last year, probably a year too late. Should have been back-to-back Pro Bowls. Does a lot on the outside and the inside as a slot defender. But so we got to take care of our own. But I would love Bradberry to come in as well.
And Walter Payton Man of the Year, I believe.
Walter Payton Man of the Year as well.
Great. Everybody loves him. Go ahead, Ty.
D-But, Sauce Gardner's contract was released today of what he grosses and then what he'll actually bring home after tax.
I fucking hate him. Okay? I hate him.
So that, my question is, they always talk about New York being like this market that everyone wants to go to. The Jets have fucking stunk forever, and so have the Giants. Do you think guys will see this and be like, hey, why would I want to go play in New York?
Say what the number is, Ty.
So the gross was $33.45 million after taxes. He got $17.4 million.
And listen, he's going to have to rent a house probably. Not going to be able to buy a house, probably rent a house. That's what they'll tell him to do. That money's just getting dumped in the fucking drain, especially in the New York market.
Man.
He'll never get that back. So listen, everybody should
probably have to live in Jersey, get a little better tax situation there. But
everybody pay their fair share. Listen, everybody pay their fair share. I get it, but god damn, taxes. Whenever I got introduced to them, I had no idea what they are.
You look at the guy that went before him, Stingley. He went to pick before him. He went to Texas. So I'm sure his gross net looks a lot better with no income state tax out there. But is this something you look at? It's definitely something you look at. Some of your agent, your financial advisor, all those things talk to you about. But, I mean, you're still in New York, though. So that is the biggest media market in the world. And as a defender, it depends a lot on what quarterback you're on. Either whether you suck or whether you're doing well, they're going to be talking about the Jets. You're going to be talking about Zach Wilson all year, regardless of how he's doing. So if Sauce is playing well, if he's locking shit down, if he's going to Pro Bowls, I'm sure he can. And it's tougher as a defender to make that kind of money, but I'm sure he can find a way to make. I don't know if he can recoup it all back, but it's a good market to be in, especially if you're winning. The Jets knocked this draft out of the park as well. On paper, they look good, so we'll see how competitive they are in the AFC East. But, I mean, that sucks, especially when you see the guy that went right before you and go to Texas. You look at those checks that first time, it's going to hurt him a little bit.
Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Nevada, forget what else. Delaware.
Ooh, there are a lot of corporations there.
No teams there, but a lot of corporations there. Do you think all he has to have is one good year, though, and then he'll be able to sell his own sauce?
Yeah.
He can probably sell his own sauce right now.
Yeah, but he has one good year in New York in that market. I mean, he'll create a sauce. He'll be, you know what I mean?
Town.
So
I mean, that's the thing, though. That sauce go down here real quick, because as quick as they build you up in New York, they'll tear your ass down. So
that's what I'm saying. You got to have a good year. Got to have one good year.
Tomato sauce? Or?
Well, hot sauce, whatever sauce he wants. Probably hot sauce. He said he keeps hot sauce in that actual thing. Mm-hmm. Sauce probably do pretty good.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Do a bunch of different
He's got to have one good year.
But if in New York, you create a good piece of sauce. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Game changer.
You think he has pizza sauce, hot sauce?
Yeah, probably.
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. Sauce of sauces.
Yeah.
Okay. Sauces, assortment of sauces. Sauces, assortment of sauces. He's got to have one good fucking year, though.
Yeah.
Got to have a good year. If he has a great year, fucking sauces out the boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Can't keep him in stock next offseason.
He's got rid of Bradberry. Same stadium. Bradberry's all pro 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Quick out there in Rhode Island.
Fill into the spot, though. This is good for Sauce. Go ahead, Connor.
I mean, also, Diggs and Tyreek Hill, pretty tough little division. He's got
and Mac Jones is throwing.
Of course, yeah.
Devontae Parker.
Through a keyhole. Speaking of Mac Jones, but Bill O'Brien, down in Gillette, working with some of the rookies. Do you expect Bill to just bring in different OCs every week to get their kind of thoughts on what they should do and what the hell is going on there? And then do you see Bradberry maybe reuniting with Joe Judge in New England?
Oh, that's a good one. They just lost JC, obviously, in free agency. That wouldn't be bad at all. I'm sure Bill would do his due diligence. They'll probably bring him in, but that wouldn't be bad at all. You got Malcolm Butler back in the building. But as far as the offense, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I got to put faith into Bill Belichick to figure it out. So is Billy O'Brien, is he a free agent right now? Is he still coordinator? Is he still with Bama? That's the last I thought.
He's still at Bama?
Yeah, he's still at Bama.
So
he's just kind of consulting?
Saban was like, don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Go help out Bill.
We got 10
Yeah, well, no clue what's going on down there. Maybe Mac calls the plays like you've been saying.
Hell yeah.
Who knows?
That would be awesome if Mac's already calling his own shit. Last question here from Tone. We can't thank you enough for your time, Darius.
D-Bud, since you wear boots on the ground down at F1, I know LeBron was down there, but they didn't ask him to get in the photo with Tom and Michael and David Beckham. Did you talk to LeBron to see if he was upset about it, or any inside info you give us, Runner?
Nah, no inside info. I mean, that picture that was a legendary picture. Maybe you didn't have enough chips. I don't know. I don't know how many Beckham has. At least 6, I believe. But
Beckham was making like $7 million a day for like 4 years when he came to the MLS or something.
How many championships? He got to have a lot.
Who?
I don't know much about soccer. Beckham.
I will say
a lot of different kinds.
Tournament every weekend.
I will say there is.
So I'm ignorant with soccer, but I know Lewis Hamilton. He's got 7 world championships. Obviously, MJ got 6. Tom's got 7. So I mean, that was a very
Beckham's got 6 Premier League
goldie.
titles.
But he didn't win the soccer Lombardi. So
I don't think he won the Champions League either. Did Champions League even exist whenever he was playing?
He did. He does have a Champions League title. Yes.
Oh, so he has 7 titles.
Never won an MLS Cup.
yeah.
He does have two MLS.
They got 2. Yeah,
two
okay.
MLS Cups actually.
Galaxy were a very good squad.
He was actually an owner of the MLS there for a bit.
You got to see the damn table. Let's go, Beckham.
Absolutely,
But yeah, that picture was legendary though. Legendary.
Well, I think it was a legendary weekend down there. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. Can't wait to get to an F1 event someday.
Someday.
Down the
Gotta
road.
Get into it, Pat.
Maybe Vegas next year.
I'm thinking there's little to no chance of seeing me at one of those events.
What?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
What about Austin?
Did you see how everybody was dressed down there? Looked like a bunch of fucking jackasses walking around. What is it, 145 degrees down there too?
Hot.
How's everybody do it? How does everybody dress? Am I just that different than everybody? I would be sweating through every one of those shirts that they were wearing. It'd be uncomfortable. It would be terrible. I don't know how they're so cool.
See, those shirts, those are probably like
Linen.
$2,000 shirts. They got some fucking no sweat, no nothing. Beckham, I don't know how you got a damn blazer on.
That's what I'm saying. These dudes are so cool.
That's nuts. I mean, people, you saw all kind of different fashion out there. Obviously, you got Europeans out there. They're wearing their shit. You got people from Florida. Who knows what they're wearing? Saw a couple hoodies. Saw a couple hats, suits, bikini. You saw everything down there. It's Florida, baby. 9 more years.
9 more years. Stephen Ross making Super Bowl money.
Yeah, boy, Steve.
Good for Stephen Ross. Good for us getting a chance to chat with you. Can't thank you enough. Ladies and gentlemen, host of the Man to Man podcast, 9-year NFL vet, Darius Butler. Thank you. All right, let's get to a break, and then we'll be back on the other side. AJ, Stephen Ross, I would like to extend that 10-year deal to 20, please. Immediately.
I'd like to have another event next weekend if I was him. Like, how often can you do it?
I don't know.
And does that track stay up? Or do they tear that? What happened?
So they pick it up and move. That's what I think Debo was just talking about.
So they painted all those like to make it look like water and all that?
Yeah, I think it's getting torn down.
Put the boats in there like it was real water?
Yeah, I think they have Rolex pay for that. And then Ferrari comes in and pays for the other paint jobs.
Rolls Royce.
Did you see Ford versus Ferrari?
What's that?
Did you see Ford versus Ferrari?
I did, I think. I tried to watch it at least.
It's a good film.
It's a good one. Did you see the Avatar trailer?
I did.
Yeah.
Can't take Jacob Sal's voice.
What?
I'm going to have to get used to that again.
What's it sound like?
Just sounds like Jacob Sully. Like I haven't heard it in 20 years though.
Yeah,
so.
you're out already.
Kind of like
You're going to hate this.
You are.
It's kind of like he's
It
giving
took way too long to put this out. It's gonna stink.
Well, just,
You know it.
just follow up. How come half of every video that's uploaded on the internet runs shit and then it breaks through and it's clear?
I don't get that either.
Why is that for every fucking video? I thought it was just the platform or whatever, and then I thought it was like us uploading it. But every video, about halfway through, you get full sound and full quality video. I thought Avatar was like, oh no, they got like a virtual reality situation. They took so long that they're behind on the tech that their shit's not gonna look real enough. You know, I thought it was, and then it cleared up halfway through. I'm like, okay, so they still got the fastball with the tech. They still got the avatars running around. I don't think I'm gonna care enough about the opponent though after watching the trailer.
Yeah. That's the tough
Jake
part.
Sully's always talking like he's giving a pregame speech, so maybe that's
Who are we fighting this time?
Serious, yeah. Another group of avatars, but I think they're humans that have also become avatars, I believe.
Like
I think it's the old crew, but they figured out how to do what Jacob Sully did, and they're back. So now they're bigger, stronger construction, trying to steal the unobtainium out from the water.
And someone said this earlier in the office. I can't remember who it was.
Same helicopters, by the way. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw
Seems
that.
like
I was a
Jake-
little bummed about that.
Seems like Jake Sully's got a Tarzan son, maybe.
Yeah, he's got a boy.
Oh yeah, it did appear as if they procreated. But then I saw his lifeless, sackless human body being dragged around.
Yeah, which
They're
What's
still
that?
going to carry that around in a briefcase.
So that has to be around?
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
didn't
how's that
care
going to
for
work
that.
underwater?
What do you mean sackless?
Well, they took his soul. His soul, literally.
Yeah.
Just a bag of bones.
Yeah,
Transformed.
They did the whole thing, and they took his soul.
Wait, they did the Jabberwocky.
Yeah, that's exactly. With Shaq, is that what you're talking about? Yeah. They did that to him, and then he just like Shaq. He came out and boom, now he's Jacob Sully. He's got a baby over there. But I guess they got to keep the sack around. That was interesting.
Bag
to
of
me.
bones Sully.
It literally was. They just showed it for half a second in the trailer. I'm like,
gotta
what
watch
the hell is that?
His kid's life sucks too. He's got to wear the fucking mask the entire time, and everyone else is 8 feet tall.
Oh, that's his kid?
Yeah.
Feels like it.
That's what we think. The
Oh,
family.
I thought that was him.
No, we believe
No.
that's his boy, and this is like
That is not what I was thinking.
See, I didn't either because then it was
I
like
thought that was Jacob Sully.
no, that we think is his son because Jacob Sully obviously.
What? Is the
Couldn't
guy
run.
25 years old? What
I think
Well,
it is like 10 years in the future.
Well,
How
it's been
does-
30 years since the last movie.
how does that
this
happen?
movie's gonna fucking be awesome.
No, it's gonna stink. How does that even happen? Does the sack of bones have sex with Neytiri and that's how they have a son? Like he is an avatar. How does he have a human son?
Well, we don't know. I don't
human
think that's not
body.
what I saw.
There's
about
no
it.
way.
I'm telling
that's
you.
the son.
I'm telling you, that's what it is. We need to get down a rabbit hole on Reddit and figure it out.
gonna
Anyways,
stink.
we'll be back at 4. It's not.
Yeah, stop saying that.
It's gonna stink.
I just have to get over Jacob Sully talking the way he talks.
Well, he's gonna be talking a lot.
I know,
so-
but if I get over it,
Yeah.
but if I get over it, you know what I mean?
Right back with the first movie, get back into it, and then by the time.
Bro, I'll tell you what, I tried to watch that first Avatar numerous times. That thing's 7 hours long, got a lot of bright colors, and I fall asleep every time.
You got no shot.
I'm watching it. It's in the water, too. Way of the water, dude.
Yeah, I will say there was a trailer.
Bro, he fucking high-fived one of them sperm whales.
Yeah,
that was
pretty
cool.
awesome. Swimming with it.
No, I think he's fucking tag team partners with a sperm whale, Jacob Sully.
Oh, so are they going to link up too?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, you think he's going to put his ponytail
In
into
the
the whale?
blowhole?
Yeah.
Huge loads all over the place.
Exactly.
All right, you guys are too childish to talk seriously about Jacob Sully.
You haven't even seen the original movie, and all you do is talk up Avatar, and you can't even stay through the first one.
I've seen it.
I
I've
thought
tried
you
to
like you
watch
talk
it.
about Avatar like it's your favorite movie in the world.
I do, but who has time? It's fucking 10 hours
Yeah, it's a
long.
long movie.
I've tried.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I didn't watch it. I wasn't going to go back and see it again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've watched it a couple times, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go back to try to get into the Avatar spirit, and then I can't make it through it. And maybe that's a sign. It's not.
What year
no.
did it come out? 1999?
What?
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
or 8. 1, 2.
14, 15 years, 13 years ago.
Top Gun's going to beat it out anyways. this
Found
year.
out who the white guy running around the trailer is.
Who is it?
Who is
I
it?
don't want to spoil.
What's in the trailer?
It's not their actual blood son.
What the fuck does that mean?
That fucking nerd scientist kid?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh yeah,
And did he lose his avatar?
that's possible.
What?
This movie's gonna fucking stink.
No,
dude.
look at how many levels this thing. We saw a minute 30 trailer. We got 100 questions. There's depth to this thing. We're going the way of the water.
How long is it?
We're back in 4. See you then.
7 hours.
I hope so. It took him 15 years to make it. We're back. We're back and forth. Bye.
It really comes down to, and pardon my French, but giving less fucks. I think that it's a maturity that comes from aging, from making mistakes, from failing, from being too sensitive at times, from taking things too personal at times. And it's about growth and learning not to be indifferent, because I think indifferent people are terrified of making choices, and it's a cold place to live. It's about choosing what to care about, and the things that you do care about, it's less things. It's not trying to be a part of every conversation or get involved in everything or setting yourself up to be offended about certain things. It's caring more about specific things and less things, and with those things, it's finding ways to solve the problems, because true happiness doesn't come from eliminating all problems in your life. I believe it comes from solving the problems that you have and dealing with the pain and the suffering that is natural in life and is a part of life. It's not fleeing from pain and suffering and running from those things and not dealing with the emotional situations. It's looking at those head on and saying, how can I solve these problems and make my life a little bit better? And that's what I've tried to do the last couple of years, and I've talked about in the show as well. It's about perspective. And I truly believe this, when you focus on the things that you have more than the things that you don't have, you allow yourself to let gratitude sink in. And when the gratitude sinks in, it is always accompanied by joy, because you're focusing on the blessings that you have, not on the things that you don't have, the things you wish you had, the way you wish your life was that much better, you wish you had this, you wish you had that. You'll always be unsatisfied. But when you take solace in the fact that you're where you're supposed to be, and that life is going to come at you with pain and suffering and failure and frustrations and mistakes, and just trying to solve those problems and do a little bit better next time, it allows you to, I think, be a little gentler with yourself and admit that you're a human, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to please everybody. There's always going to be a 500-pound elephant of possibly hatred and malice waiting for you, whatever decision you make, and that's just part of life. You got to deal with it and just try and be better the next time.
So you feel freer, it feels like, huh? You kind of feel free.
Yeah, there's a liberation that comes from caring less about the things that don't really matter in this life, I think. And I will say, if anything, and I know the two of you is the best on this show, and so I won't speak for the other boys, but I'm sure they're very similar. There's a lot of joy in being unapologetically yourself. And I think in life we respect people the most often who are that way, who don't try and change or be different or grow meek in situations that require courage, that go quiet in situations that require communication. And that's what I appreciated in both your friendships, is that you guys have always been yourselves. And Pat, I haven't known you as long as I've known AJ. I sat next to AJ for 9 years, and I have so much love for him and appreciation for the friend that he is. But I always admired and was inspired by the fact that AJ was always himself. And he believed that who he was exactly who he was supposed to be, and he didn't have to be different or put on a face for anybody. He was unabashedly himself, and I think there's a lot to be gained from doing it that way. And what I love about you and the boys is that's who you are. You guys show up every single day, not with an agenda, but with an open mind, and create conversations around important topics, and then you just be yourselves.
Today's show is brought to you by Cash App. Cash App is the best finance app on planet Earth. It's the easiest way to send money to your buddies, and you can even buy pieces of Bitcoin or stocks with as little as $1. Currently in a dip.
Good time to buy.
Not a bad time to get in, AJ.
NFTs as well?
Wow.
They might be
Keep an eye out for another Winter Wednesday this week with last Friday's giveaway. If you aren't on Cash App yet, go use code McAfee for $15 as soon as you sign up. That's code McAfee for a free $15. Terms do apply. I appreciate everybody screenshotting us, sending them money and sending it in and saying shout out or whatever. That's been very cool. That's feel real fulfillment out of those things. I appreciate everybody. We're very lucky to do what we do, and we can't thank everybody enough for following along. So the more giveaways, the better in my eyes, although some other people in this company don't love it. Connor, one of them.
Well,
CFO Phil, another one. Tone Diggs doesn't like it. I love it. I enjoy it. We'll continue to do so. Winter Wednesday. And big thanks to Cash App for helping us out with all of that.
Yeah, thank you, Cash App.
Hour 2 is coming to a wrap here on Sirius XM. We'll be back 6 minutes after this hard out that's about to come in about 20 seconds. AJ, third hour, what are we talking about? Anything big?
We got Q-Rich coming on, right?
That's right.
All things NBA, all the inside stuff. It'll be great.
It will be fantastic. He'll join us 2:15 Eastern Standard Time, so that's about 20 minutes from now. I'm sure you can go take a dump, a poop, maybe a drink, maybe some food in there. Go to Applebee's, get half price Applebee's. It's on ad. We'll see you in 6. Goodbye. That's just when I do a break that late and then another one. That's bad radio.
No, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Says who?
Who
Everybody
cares?
Yeah.
But
That's the old model.
valid.
Correct.
Did you hear about this Jerry Jones stuff and Papa John Schnatter and Dan Snyder and
Indra.
Newye?
Is this the Whitlock thing that you guys were talking about, right?
Yes.
I heard it from you. I watched it when I saw it.
So we did break this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering how the fuck this happened without us hearing about it. I guess this was like a month ago on Fearless with Jason Whitlock. Papa John Schnatter, former owner of Papa John's, was the guest, and he was spilling the beans. Snyder and Jones hate Goodell, he says. I said, no, this is not my job to fire your commissioner. Okay, he works for you guys. Remember, Jason Whitlock, Goodell is a coward, and he's incompetent. Think about him just casually saying this. This guy used to write a check to the NFL for hundreds of millions of dollars every single year to be every single commercial. Now he's on a podcast with Jason Whitlock, Fearless with Jason Whitlock, and just fucking what? He's a coward. We know that. And he's just lucky. Remember Jerry Jones? You know that? Who that is, Jason? The owner of the Cowboys. He follows up. Indra Newye, okay, from Pepsi, former CEO of Pepsi. And Dan Snyder, they all called me. One call, conference call. How you doing? Put him in a big room. I got a big house in Kentucky. I got a lot of money. Several other folks about Goodell's conduct and the way he was handling this. Jones and Dan Snyder wanted Goodell fired. This is like the 1st of November, end of October. They called and said, you need to take this guy out, all right? You're number one sponsor of the league as far as notoriety and acceptance and association. Everybody loves you, Papa. Hey, Papa. And they love Peyton. Everybody loves Peyton. We hate Goodell. This is wild. This is happening. Now, Papa John, as the boys alluded to in hour 1, I don't think anybody's taking anything he says seriously after some of the things that he has said in the past. And it's like, okay, if that brain is saying those things, can we take anything that's coming from that brain seriously? But at least I would assume that if it wasn't those exact words, it was at least that direction, that conversation. And I always thought Dan Snyder and Goodell were boys. I always thought Jerry Jones and Goodell were boys. Now John Schnatter, pizza conglomerate, former, is saying that's not the case at all. That's wild to me. That's not normally what we hear publicly, you know?
I mean, this looks like he and Jerry Jones are very tight right here in this picture, but
me and Papa have this photo. Me and Papa have the same photo. We are not that tight.
Don't you think that we haven't heard of this because people don't take John Schnatter seriously, that he has no credibility?
How far will he go to get some little bit of clout these days? Is probably what everybody is saying. I assume that's why it hasn't become a deal. I was almost insulted that we had not heard about this morning. I looked around. I was like, how have we not heard about it? Jerry Jones, Dan Snyder, CEO of Pepsi, Papa John burying Roger Goodell? Is that not in what we should be talking?
Papa John was saying that they buried Goodell.
Yes, it was.
So I guess they would say we didn't. I'm sure. I would imagine they will say, or they'll decline to comment on it. But do you think Goodell, even 1%, thinks oh, maybe this is true? You think he's worried?
Goodell sits down on a leather chair in his basement watching NFL football, not high school, not college, not United States, not Canadian, not extreme.
No way.
NFL football is what he's watching, eating peanut M&Ms, and he's like, this motherfucker's Pepsi, fuck Pepsi. Yeah, I think he does think about all this. He has to, right? I mean, I'm watching Succession right now.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
And I've alluded to it a lot these days. I should have been watching it a long time ago.
Great show. You actually like it?
Huh? Love it. Don't like it. Love it. I have to deal with a lot of these people.
The actors are great. The actors are also
so good.
And now, once again, this is kind of like a winning time situation where I'm just acting as if this is a documentary. And this is actually how every one of these humans that are at this level operate and act. And it's kind of affected how I speak to some people, to be honest with you, now that I feel like I know those people a little bit better than in the past. But I fucking love that show, man. It is incredible. And I would assume that they hear everything. Just like on that show, they hear everything. They control everything. Roger Goodell has to hear everything and has to deal with everything. I assume there's a lot of fires that go out whenever that was stated by Papa John, and then they were like, nobody's going to talk about it. And then 1 week passes, 2 weeks passes, 3 weeks, and then everybody has their eyes on pro football talking like, fucking Florio heard it. Yeah. It's over. Now everybody's going to talk about it, which is true because we ain't got shit to talk about. But that seems to be alarming, if any of it's true. But once again, it's Papa John, so we have no idea. And that's a tough place to be when you go from better ingredients, better pizza to it's Papa John. So that's a tough fall from grace there.
I'm surprised he didn't sneak in there like shit. They wanted to make me the commissioner, but instead,
that's why it made it more believable.
Yeah.
God, imagine if he does. They're actually talking about better ingredients, better pizza, better football.
Papa John.
What a moment. All right, we're back in radio in about a minute. We'll hour 3 should be good.
Yeah.
Hour 3 should be good.
Hell yeah.
Titans and Bills, Vikings and Eagles playing at the same time on a Monday Night Football week 2. I think that's awesome. Be able to flip back and forth. I'd assume they saw the numbers. The late game got 0 numbers because it was so late. Mm-hmm. Early game got all the numbers. How do we do it both? Little March Madness, little Sunday feel on a Monday.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. We'll talk about that and more in hour 3. We appreciate you for watching here on the Pat McAfee Show. See you in about a minute.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, Hour 3 on this Monday, May 9th, 2022. We'll talk to Q Rich in a bit. More stoogery begins right now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us. To my left, your right, AJ Hawk. AJ, how's it going? How's the weekend? You look fantastic. You look refreshed. You look energized.
Great. Everything was good. I am like you, where our weather looks to be beautiful this whole week. So it's a good time.
Yeah, probably going to get out of the office quickly after the show today. I hope everybody does the same. Go out and enjoy the sun. It's the first time we've seen the son of a bitch in a long time.
Yeah, that's right. Too long.
Let's go ahead and experience it a little bit. I guess the lake is going to be popping. Can't wait to watch that. And once again, 2 hours north of Indy, I have a house on a lake. Can't wait to experience the summer on that. AJ, you're the best. Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer Down Cowboys, with a look of confusion on his face.
Not confusion, maybe a look of opportunity.
Here we go.
You know, you do the 2 hour drive, so it makes it difficult, but, might be able to get 9 in.
Oh. Hey, good call.
So
and we did not plan this.
Off the back deck, or
we did not plan this. I did a Q&A thing on IG stories last night because I can't sleep on planes. Had a couple hour flight, and I was, just sitting there all by myself. A lot of people said, "Are you and AJ putting a bet on Tahoe? Or what are we?"
Ooh. Oh, I don't know. I didn't think about that. Are we?
Well, your experience, I would like at least a stroke or two.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. You are a much better golfer. You
know
the course.
Play the course every year.
I do not know the course. I played it 10 straight years. I don't know if you have this brain or not. Someone's like, "Oh, what'd you do on 4?" And I'm like, "What is 4? I have no idea."
I mean, if I played it once,
left, whatever.
Yeah, if I played it once or twice, maybe I'll be like, I don't remember that. 10 times. Jesus. I mean, at this point, it should look pretty familiar, shouldn't it?
I played more course. I played that course more than anywhere in my life, obviously.
So home course.
So it's your home course. I've never done this. The pressure.
Nothing.
You've tackled people for 10 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's like with
we
the
can put a bet
bombs.
on it. I probably need 4 strokes aside.
What?
Whoa.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Was it points?
You're a good golfer. You shoot in the 80s. I've never broken 80, bro. You know that.
There's a big difference.
You shoot in the 70s, actually, sometimes.
No.
Out there, you're going to be on fire when everything counts and you have to putt 6-inch putts. Like you're going to.
That's what I'm saying. You're used to all this, so you get no strokes.
Nah.
Guys are
we'll see. I don't know.
So what do we
I
do?
haven't played my first round yet this year. We'll see it. My first round will be in an outing coming up here.
Well, I bet your game is going to be great. You're a professional. You play at Tahoe every single year on TV. You tackle people out there. You're a real crowd fan favorite.
What?
You play
You can
well.
put something on it.
Ryder Cup champion.
What would we do? Points? Just end of the week?
Well, no,
points?
it's going to be our score. Yeah, wherever you finish in the whole Stableford system.
Okay, so this thing, bogey is no points, no blood.
Bogey 0, par is 1 point.
Okay.
Double bogey is the worst you could do. You pick up after double. That's -2. You try to stay away from those.
Okay, and then birdie's what?
Birdie might be 3 or 2.
believe
Birdie's
it's
3, I
three.
think.
3, I thought, yeah.
And then eagle 5 probably.
Damn.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah.
Oh, so I need a couple eagles.
Albatross might be like 10.
I need a couple eagles. All right.
It's a hole in one.
All right, so that's what I'm going for. I'm going for eagles.
They're out there, guys. Guys get eagles out there.
This says a bogey is 1 point.
Oh, bogey's worth 1 point.
Not really.
And then what's double?
It says this is Stableford scoring.
I think
This is a modified stable.
Yeah, they play modified.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the modified
Who the
scoring
fuck
is.
is Stableford?
I wish bogus gave you a point.
Is that Sheila?
Sheila
She was stable
Stableford?
forward, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is this?
Well, I heard him say Stableford scoring, so I just typed it in.
Yeah, but who the fuck is Stableford?
Let me see.
Is this
No
a member
clue.
of the Sheila Ford Hamp family?
Start the tournament.
I like it because there's you don't go in with, you don't have to have a handicap. You know, when people go and you don't know who the best player is when you have handicaps going in. I don't have a real handicap, so I don't
This
do
was a system developed by Dr. Frank Barney Gorton Stableford in he lived from 1870 to
Dr.
1959.
Barney Frank Stableford?
Yep.
Dr. Frank Barney Gorton Stableford.
Can't walk into that guy's office and feel comfortable with him doing anything to you. What's your name again? Frank Barney Gordon Stableford?
I might change my name to that.
Gumpy Barney Frank Stableford?
Gorton with a T.
Oh, Gorton.
Yeah.
He loved golf, hated golf, sucked at golf, wanted to figure out how to score points.
Mm-hmm.
It's a deter golfers from giving up on their round after just 1 or 2 bad holes.
There you go.
I like this doctor.
I don't give up.
Come on, you got
Also
points.
speeds up the pace of play.
Okay.
Ready to play, ready to play, ready to play.
Because you can pick it up immediately. You stink, you're slow. Get out of the hole. See you later. Whenever you pick up, let's say you miss a putt, do you go back and practice that putt again?
You can, I think, after everybody's done. I absolutely never have, but yeah.
Let's go to the phones. 500
Practicing putting like that, okay, it never is going to feel like it feels when you're standing over there in the moment.
Here
Well,
is
it doesn't
Dr.
matter.
Frank Barney Stapleton Gordon Stableford.
Alpha.
Nailed it.
Dr. Frank Barney Gorton Stapleford.
Stable.
We're 30%. We think that's him.
30%.
Hey, old white golf is what you guys search. That mustache is spectacular.
All time.
Think about when he walked in to pitch this scoring system to his country club. This is what I'm thinking, gentlemen. This guy lays it all out. Bogey, 1 point. Double bogey, -2. Don't get on the double bogey train. You get a birdie, though, 3 points. Now we're talking out here, boys. What a fucking...
Imagine him just twirling his mustache, though, right when he's inventing all this.
Hey, it's like him and Khan, all the guys.
Yeah. Doctor, we think you're right.
Doctor, God damn it, with a mustache like that, how can we not fucking take your advice? Look at that guy. Bow tie as well.
Yeah.
Stud.
This is classic old white right here. Changing the world for the better, though. Hey, actually, we don't know. We don't know what else Dr. Frank Barney Gordon.
We also don't know if that's actually him.
Yeah. So a lot of question marks, I guess. But if he didn't do anything terrible, which we should assume he did if he's a part of golf and he's old.
At some point.
But if not, hey, thanks for what you did, pal.
Thank you, Barney.
Frank
Gorton.
Staple.
Ferd.
Is it Stapleford or just Stapleton? Chris?
Is this his great granddad?
Stableford, as if like a horse stable.
Okay.
Did he invent the stable?
If this guy fucking invented the scoring system and a stable, I mean, this guy.
That's pretty impressive.
Rolling in
That
it.
mustache is the least impressive thing, which is the most impressive thing I've seen in some time. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Matt in Wisconsin. What's going on, Matt, on the 5 Energy phone line?
Hey, boys. How we doing?
Keep moving.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, this question's for Connor. Have you always known, or did you just find out this weekend that the entire Celtics roster and fan base are a bunch of bitch-made cats after watching Giannis put 42 on your head?
Oh, Boston's dead,
What's
dude.
this guy talking about?
Why are you getting dunked on all the time by everybody, and they're all right, and you are deservedly so?
I think probably because, a lot of the times I am a stooge and a sellout. But, the Celtics are going to be just fine.
You never sell out Boston, though. You're always on
Never,
Boston's side.
never. And that's why they're going to win tonight, then they're going to win on Wednesday, and then they're going to win
Is there
on
anything that can
Friday.
make you turn your back on Boston?
No.
Connor, for the Boston sports?
No, never.
How about losing
Nothing
on
at all.
Boston Day?
Nothing.
The only thing that was tough, but the only thing that could probably make me turn my back on Boston sports, not as a whole, but specifically the Patriots, is if they fire Belichick. That'll never happen because he's GM and lead counsel.
You can never say never. You never know.
No, it'll never happen.
What if Robert Kraft gives him what he's done to all the players? Like, hey, time to take you out back and shoot you instead of letting this thing carry on.
Bill respects it.
Bill,
Patricia's the guy.
I didn't expect to get it done like the same way I did Teddy Bruschi and Adam Vinatieri and all these other guys, Tom Brady and everybody else. I fucking ran out of this building.
Nah, that'll never happen. And the only way I think it does happen if he says, my time, my watch is ended. It's now Steve Belichick's team. Just passes the torch right to his son.
Is he a legend up there? He has to be, Steve.
I love Steve Belichick. Everyone with a brain knows that Steve Belichick has to be the next head coach of the Patriots.
Just hand it over.
Yeah, just keep it going.
What is it? It's a royal family up there, the
Exactly.
Belichicks.
Oh, yeah. And
Pass
then
it down.
Steve, he'll have a son, and Steve's boy will then also become a head coach for the Patriots. So really, probably for the next 300 years, the head coach of the Patriots will have the last name Belichick.
Wow, just like the royal family in England.
Exactly.
You know, the sun used to never set on the English Empire. Now it's just this tiny little town basically over there in Europe like everybody else.
Yeah, but the Belichicks...
That's what's going to happen to the Patriots?
No, because the Belichicks don't have Prince Andrews walking around the halls, some absolute rat fuckers that, maybe kind of caused the
What did he
family
do?
name... You know what he did. Caused the family
What'd he
name a
do?
little shame. We know what he did and what he was doing.
Prince Andrew, the redheaded kid?
No.
No.
The guy, Epstein's
Yeah,
right-hand
He's
man.
in Epstein's black book.
Yeah.
Who?
Prince Andrew.
The
Impossible.
redheaded?
He had a thing where he didn't sweat back then. That's
The
one of
balding
pictures
guy?
that said that.
The balding guy? The
no.
balding kid?
No.
Older generation.
Older
from them.
generation, yeah.
He's like their uncle, I think.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. We have none of that.
He was in the show you watched.
Was he?
He's
yeah,
the
he's
Duke,
got a crown.
right? Is he the Duke?
He's the one married to the Queen?
He gave up.
No.
He gave up his to go get married to what's her name?
It's
Right?
the brother of the Queen.
I believe so, right? Because isn't he the one that AJ talking about who married the
He was
lady?
the king before?
Queen's pretty old. I think it's her son.
Queen's son.
Didn't he marry the divorced lady? Is that what you were about to say?
Diana?
Third child of Queen Elizabeth.
Okay, so the
And
son.
wait, third child and second son of Queen Elizabeth II. So that's the Queen, right? That's right.
Read
now.
the sentence again. Read the sentence again.
I thought they're all called Queen.
No, just read the
Queen Elizabeth, but which Queen Elizabeth? Wasn't the other one Elizabeth too?
I think it
Oh,
was
she was just
king
princess?
beforehand. It was king, queen, I believe.
Who's the one that was a limo and got killed by the photographer?
That was
Princess
Diana.
Princess Diana.
That's not
Rest
me.
in peace,
Yeah.
by the way, Diana.
Yeah,
Fuck that photographer.
Hers.
The Queen's father was Henry, right?
King. He loved duck hunting.
Loved it.
That
Ripped it
guy
up.
loved fucking pheasant and duck hunting more than anybody on earth.
Damn good at it too.
Queen loved horses. That's what I heard.
Yes.
And then they take the ponies and the guns around.
Still
the whole-
does.
How is the Queen? Queen's still doing it?
Oh yeah,
She's doing good.
she's crushing.
I stopped watching after my Queen was no longer the Queen on Crown. So literally, she might. I don't know if she died or not in the rest of the series.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They should have just CGI'd him. I don't know why they, changed the queens.
You guys listen to the
Pretty dumb,
podcast with
actually.
Harry and Meghan Markle?
Never.
With Oprah?
They got like 50 million. I don't think they put an episode out yet. What? Pretty good deal actually.
Oh, you're saying this sounds like a no-show job here.
Well, no, I don't. I just think I don't know. I know Obama has a podcast with Bruce Springsteen too. They get paid a bunch of money.
National Geographic. Zito just said we have breaking news on the Queen. I mean, I didn't want to be the one that's breaking this news. What's going on, Zito? Third time ever she's going to miss the opening of Parliament.
Holy shit. That's not good.
She all right? Winston Churchill's going to be there.
Mobility problems. I'm no.
She's old.
Probably got.
She's like 1,000.
It is a king's disease, so I assume a queen
Queen's
kid as well.
disease as well.
Sup,
Same
Queen?
chef, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Can I marry her?
the Queen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens?
Family
King
may
Z.
have it.
King
Yeah,
Z?
king.
You're a lord now, though.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I can marry her, right?
Yeah, because you're in the family. You're in the royalty.
Yeah.
Because they all kind of cross-pollinate, right? They all do.
Oh
their,
yeah.
Yeah.
How is your land over there?
It's doing good. It's the grass is pretty long right now.
It's crazy that they're selling pieces of grass like they used to sell stars to people.
Yeah.
Remember they used to sell stars in the sky?
Oh, yeah.
Still do, I think.
Somebody gifted me a star one time. I did not take care of it. I have no idea where it's
gone
at.
now?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know where it's at. I think it was right next to the Big Dipper, but
Oh, nice.
pretty good real estate, I think, but I lost track of it. I couldn't find it.
Was it a Supergiant or was it a
Just basic ass, tiny ass condo star. I think it
just
was
a star.
Tiny little star.
so young star?
What the? Are we going to space? Let's go to the phones.
We're definitely going to space.
The way Jim Irsay was talking, the way things are happening with everybody talking about the moon and the Space Hotel 2025 and aliens are being released, it feels like they're gearing up for us to go to space. I'm not going. Am I going?
No.
Do you want to go?
You mean to go stay there for an extended period of time or to go live there? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind go snooping around.
You probably see your star.
Yeah, but I don't know where
You
it's
could do
at.
it. You can get a ticket on one of these.
Well, I don't want to. If we're going to go meet some people, though, I would like to potentially be a part of that conversation. That'd be a pretty cool little thing. What if, as soon as we shake their hand, dead?
Exactly.
It's
Can't do
possible.
it. Cannot do it.
Hidden buzzer in the hand trick and it
Yeah,
kills you.
like a fart. It sounds
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
makes like a fart sound, like and then boom, dead.
That's certainly possible.
Well, I'll have my own tricks for this fucking aliens.
Yeah, you need a couple people to go first, have them get burned up or whatever by whatever the aliens want to do in the beginning, and then trial by fire.
This is where I'm too ignorant. I have no idea how that would work. Okay, I can barely live with gravity.
Okay.
How the fuck are people doing it anywhere else?
I have no
That is what, 120, 200 years from now? But everybody's talking like in the next 10 years it's going to happen.
I mean, don't astronauts have to go through like years of training to know how to function and like live up there? How do they expect people to just fucking one weekend head up there and go stay in space?
Well, I hope that this clip gets used someday when they're like talking about space like they had with those that guy who had the button under the thing on NBC.
Matt Lauer.
Hey, what is the internet? There's that clip that always pops up or whatever. Maybe it'll be like that for space. If there's space and there's a sport, I hope it's basketball. And I hope there's one person covering it. And that's co-host of the Knuckleheads podcast, a man who is all-knowing when it comes to the NBA, friend of the show. We can't thank him enough for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Richardson.
Yeah!
Hey, real quick.
Guys, as always.
Hey, they're talking about space as if that's like next week. Have you heard that? That's kind of been like the turn of the tide. I don't understand how any of that will work, Quinn.
Nah, I agree with one man over there just said, like, astronauts been studying and preparing to go up there for years. How's guys going to just go up there for a weekend? I don't get that either.
Well, it'll happen hopefully someday while we're alive. Doesn't seem likely, but let's move along. James Harden's back. Hey, James Harden's all the way back. This is good news. The step back seems to be clean. Is Philadelphia going to make a run at this thing? Because just a couple weeks ago, Doc Rivers was being called the worst coach of all time, and Philadelphia was dead. Are they all the way back now after yesterday's 31 points from James Harden?
I think you see what the impact of Joel Embiid had on the team. I mean, I know he was, missed the first two games and they looked like it was completely over with. But I mean, now with him being back and obviously last night with James Harden, reaching that 30-point plus plateau that he hadn't been able to do, I mean, they look as formidable as ever right now.
Hey, whenever you think about Lil Wayne calling Luka a hoe, okay? Luka a hoe, Lil Wayne says. Because, Chris Paul had 4 or 5 fouls in the first half or something. Then he ends up fouling out when he tries to get a call. And then there's that altercation in the crowd between the Mavericks drunk white doofus and Chris Paul's family. And it kind of, what is going on in that series? Is it getting ugly, or how will they handle that fan situation with Chris Paul's family? Because it's the first time where Chris Paul, who I think is the head of the NBPA, the union, was like, no, fuck that. Something's got to be happening. Feels like something's going to take place right here, Q?
I would hope so. I applaud CP for not going over there and handling it himself. That being that close, I might have went over there myself. I had a teammate, Antonio Davis, during the game. I forget what year we were playing for the Knicks. We were in Chicago, and his wife was getting into it with somebody. He beeline literally from on the court, stepped over the scorer's table, went out there and grabbed his wife, and then he ended up getting suspended 2 games for that. But it was the craziest thing. But I understood it. If I was that close and this is mom and his wife and his family, that's crossing the line.
How do they fix that? How do they fix that whole situation in the NBA? Because the NBA, that type of getting that personal with the game, being that close to the game, is a massive part of the upside for how much they charge all the people down close to the court. But it feels like it's been much more active as of late. Do you think it's a society situation? Do you think it's a generational thing? How do they fix it, or can they?
Yeah, I mean, when you say how do they fix it, it's a tough thing because as a player, we have family seats, and our seats are, kind of scattered right there amongst the crowd. And you expect the society and the people. You don't want to, ruin the whole experience and the fan experience because you have a few idiots here or there that are doing stupid things. Hopefully, as a society, we can police ourselves and police each other and continue to, everything to be harmonious the way it has been in the past. But as of late, like you're saying, it has been getting out of hand, I feel.
Quentin, when you're watching Dallas play, or when I watch Dallas play, I see Luka and what he does. The dude is so crafty and so big and can shoot from anywhere, these crazy shots. Like, when these guys practice, what do they do offensively? What do you say? Hey, like, here we go, clear out, fellas. He might get you a shot. Be ready if he dishes to you. Like, are they running set plays over and over? That dude has the ball the whole game, I feel like.
I mean, obviously, every team is going to have their offensive sets and things like that. But superstars, they dictate what happens in the game. And Luka is one of the best at it. That's why he's an all-NBA guy, all-star and everything else he is. He's one of the best at manipulating the defense and manipulating the game, as well as the referees, and making him very tough to officiate because he can – sometimes it looks like it's a foul, but it's really not. Sometimes it may be because he's bigger than guys, and sometimes he may get fouled and it may not look like it. So he's a difficult player to officiate and a game plan for.
And also probably play alongside, and hopefully they'll be able to find the right pieces down there because he is a superstar. Another superstar that we're not going to see anywhere near enough of, it feels like. Joker's a guy, huh? Hey, this is a guy. They put up all his stats, 2,000, 1,500, like the first guy to ever do that. Yeah, first 2,000, 1,500 season ever. First average 25, 13, and 6 in a season ever. He's averaging 27, 14, and 8. First player in top 10 for points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, field goal percentage in the last 50 seasons. Highest PER ever. A worthy MVP back-to-back. He's out, right? They're no longer in the playoffs. Hey, I never see him either, it feels like. I don't really know much about him. If you're not an avid basketball fan, I feel like you don't get to see as much as this guy. How much longer is this dude going to be able to do this at his size? And are we missing out on the prime of somebody who's a fucking absolute game changer in Joker?
I don't think, when you say, people that don't watch basketball, I don't know how much of you're going to see of him off the basketball court. He's not somebody who's on social media, who's making himself very available in that aspect. I think he's a kind of a personal dude with his family and things like that. But as far as him being on the court, you're right. He's absolutely a boy and a man in this game. And I think he's going to be good like this for at least 3, 4, 5 more years because the thing about him, he doesn't rely on an overwhelmingly athleticism or big, strong, muscular thing. Like everything, you look at him, you think he's on the backside of his career right now. Is when you just look at his physical, he doesn't do anything like athletically that jumps off the page. But his fundamentals and his skill at passing and his footwork and the things he can do close to the basket, being able to shoot the three, being able to really be a point center, running and initiating offense from the top of key is all those things are out of this world and off the chart. And those things really don't deteriorate that quickly with age. Those are like the last things to go is usually your athleticism and speed and things like that. And he relies on none of that.
What is he, 7'3", 7'2"?
I think he's 7 foot.
7 something. I know he's at least 7 feet. I'm not sure if he's 7'3", but he's 7 something.
Usually 7-footers now. Obviously Shaq is different, and I assume there's more that I'm missing out on, and I apologize. But he moves like he's literally point center or whatever. Watching him play like 3 games, and I'm like, wow, I fucking missed the boat on this. I missed the boat on it. It happened to be the night where he did that no look in the paint and then did some other stuff. He was wide open. I'm like, what is this guy? Back-to-back MVPs. Congratulations.
Yeah, here we go.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Quentin, obviously Jason Tatum didn't have his greatest game on Saturday. Do you think it would be wise as a Celtics fan to bet on him to score 40, 50 points tonight just because, if the Celtics don't win, we're in a pretty tough spot?
This sounds like me talking to either my nephew or 2 of my best friends who do the DraftKings and the FanDuel and all that. I'm terrible at saying whether you should bet with or with. I think that Tatum responds and he has a big game. But the game actually kind of dictates whether it's going to be 30, 40, 50 because I believe he'll have a big game, but that big game could be 25 and 12 and like 8 assists or something. But I understand for the sake of your betting. I'm terrible at giving advice on that.
Dude, Jason Tatum, 40 points plus 1,000. This is right in your fucking bread.
Well, I mean, what is it for a triple-double? Because he's going to have 25, 12, and 8, so you might as well just take triple-double then.
His over-under, though, 28.5 points. That feels very attainable for a guy coming off a bad game, especially who he is.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think he responds. I think, that for them to go where they want to go, they need Tatum to lead and to play well like he's been doing.
Go ahead, Tone.
Q-Rich. So this kind of bothered me. Memphis's head coach kind of used the word yanked when he was talking about Jordan Poole and what happened to Ja Morant's knee and stuff like that. It didn't look dirty at all to me, but like the way that he came out in the press conference and said yanked like that, how did you see the whole play?
I kind of agree with with what's being said. Kind of like to me that's like coaching and posturing. They lost Dylan Brooks for a game basically because of what Steve Kerr came out and how he addressed it. And hey, the heat of the moment. Maybe Memphis coach thought that he could influence that in some way, but I totally disagree. I don't think that the play was dirty or that Jordan Poole is dirty. I mean, when I'm as a player, I always view it two ways. I look at what actually, was done in the act and in the play, and then who is the person doing it? What is his history? Has he ever done things like this? And neither one of them match up. The play, he was reaching for the ball. We all know when you reaching and you trying to strip at something, it's a chance you hit his knee, leg, calf, anything that's in that space. It's not necessarily saying like, how precise and how quick he would have had to change his thought to say, oh, right here, right now, I'm about to grab his knee. Like, that's crazy. It wasn't intentional. And then when you look at Jordan Poole's history, he's never done anything questionable or anything questionably dirty in the history that I could think of, and nothing has come up since he's done it. And if he did anything, they would have threw it up there at us already. So
very quick.
Not dirty, so I don't agree with that.
Okay, let's move to Memphis, which is absolutely glorious. Ja Morant out with a knee injury, but their record without him is very good. It's like 22-5 or something like that. Why is that? Because in football, sometimes when a star player goes out, everybody else has to lift their game, and the game plan isn't necessarily just revolving around them. Is that similar to the basketball game, or why do you think they've had so much success without their outright superstar who everybody seems to love?
I think they're a very unique team in a very unique situation, because when you have a superstar at the talent level and at the ability and what he's translated to when he's played for that team, you usually would see a team take a big step down and lose a big something. But for whatever reason, these guys have thrived when he's out. Guys have stepped up and filled in. Tyus Jones has been great at backing up point guard, and other guys have stepped up and made up for what he would, certainly deliver on from his points and everything. So, I mean, they're a unique situation, because almost all of those teams that had a superstar at his level, when they lose him, they're going to not be as good of a team.
Go ahead, Ty.
Quentin, these playoffs have been awesome so far, and I feel like whenever we talk about other sports, people always mention how the speed of the game picks up big time during the playoffs. Is that the same deal in the NBA? I mean, it doesn't, because, anytime you hear about like guys getting sped up, it's usually in like a negative connotation. What is the biggest difference, you think, as a guy who played between the playoffs and the regular season?
I think that the biggest difference between the playoffs and the regular season is that now everything is much more intense. Everything is game planned. Like if you're going 82 games, it's a game here, a game there. You're just moving along. It's a different scouting report every other day. Once you get to this 7-game series, everything has to be better, because now they're game planning and locking in on all tendencies, plays. You got to have, like, the great coaches have different plays that they bring up here and there in the playoffs that they save, that you might see one time or 2 times the whole year. Then you have to go into those type of situations. And I think everything is just hype, man, from the crowd to every game being on TV. You go from, if you're a team that hadn't been on national TV a lot, every single game is on national TV, and that's a different aspect than what you used to on a regular game. And I think everything, mental focus and everything is just heightened. It's a different game. The game is called different. I feel like the refs let you play a little more harder and physical and let things go that necessarily wouldn't go in the early season time. So playoffs is when it's it, man. That's when the legends are made.
I don't want to sound like a layman or a noob or a casual, but I mean, every game being on primetime television, like, this is when the NBA season starts for a lot of people. That has to be a realistic thought for the superstars, right? Like, LeBron not being a part of this has to be killing him, right?
Absolutely. I mean, LeBron wouldn't be LeBron if he wasn't pissed about not making the playoffs and not being, playing in these playoffs and being a part of the biggest moment. I mean, you don't make it to being, the best player in the world or the best player of a generation and all of the things that LeBron is known to be. He's going to be top 3, top 5, wherever people want to argue and make him. But he wouldn't be able to be that if he didn't have that competitive fire that sitting this out absolutely crushes him and gives him fuel to go get back right so next year this doesn't happen again.
Have you hopped into the top 5 game before in the past, and what is it?
You mean with LeBron?
No, just players of all time. Have you done that? Are you a guy that does that? Because I am not somebody that would do that, but if you have done it in the past, I would like to hear it.
I don't do it much. I just leave it off and say that Michael is the best ever, and I'm not debating that with anybody. MJ, Michael Jordan. Best ever.
Don't you think?
What makes him the best?
Everything you've seen, his scoring, like he did everything at the highest level on both sides of the basketball. He was a defensive player of the year. He's led the league in assists. Obviously, he's led the league in scoring millions of times. But the biggest stat is that he made it to the NBA championship finals 6 times and he lost 0 times. And he never went to a game 7 because he made damn sure of it. It wasn't going to be one.
Absolute dog. He's an absolute dog too. But don't you think LeBron would have played well in that era as well? They both would have played well in each other's era.
I think LeBron would have dominated and played well in any era. I do. I think he would have been great in that era.
What about
I think Michael is the GOAT.
What about like Shaq and them? Isn't there like different rankings too? Because who could stop Shaq one-on-one back in the day whenever he was in stop?
I don't think anybody. I can't speak for the Bill Russells, the Kareems, and the Wills, but from what I saw of Shaq when I came in the NBA in 2000, I don't think anybody in the history of the game was like more dominant and more physically overpowering than Shaquille O'Neal. Period. Like they can argue about skills and this, that. When you say most dominant, you talking about a force of nature. They call him the 8th wonder of the world for a reason. Like who was unbelievably like dominant, massive, huge. He was like, man, strong ain't even a word for it. It was crazy.
And he's, by the way, still dominant. He was selling printers.
Oh yeah.
He's selling everything. He is DJing. He is the man. DJ still getting gigs.
Yeah, acting.
That thing's only growing like this. I mean, he's awesome.
He became the face of Frosted Flakes too.
Did he? And Papa John's.
Bought JCPenney.
Shaq-a-Roni bought JCPenney, sold his thing from Reebok to start his own thing. I mean, he is.
Fucking cop, sheriff.
And the coolest dude ever. The coolest, nicest dude ever. That's the best part about him. A big fella always wants somebody to have a good time and have fun, and he's one of the best dudes ever.
Wow. Absolute legend. As are you, sir. Who's going to win it all this year?
Man, right now, I gotta go. If Milwaukee can get by Boston,
which they probably are, right?
No.
I don't know, but if they can get past Boston, it's hard for me to go against them because Giannis is showing me again in them first 2 games. I thought Boston had them figured out. Like, okay, they can, like the game 1 they kind of stunned him, but then game 2 he came back and game 3 too. So now it's like he's showing me right now that he's saying I'm the best player in the world. I'm the best player in the world. It's like I'm figuring everything y'all try to throw at me out. Y'all say back off me, I'm gonna hit a jumper. Y'all say crowd him and do all this. Like he's finding a way to still plow his way to those crazy, unstoppable numbers and helping his team get wins.
No. You guys are dead.
No.
Thank you so much for joining us, man. You're the best, dude.
All right, anytime, fellas. Thank you.
Hey, great job on First Take. You guys killed it. Ladies and gentlemen, co-host of the Knuckleheads podcast, Quentin Richardson.
Yeah.
Getting stabbed in the nose by something.
What do you mean?
Oh, no. I don't know. Something was getting me in the nose. I didn't want to.
Inside it or outside?
I didn't want to Amber Heard it. I get enough of those accusations every single day because of my energy. But goddamn, I was getting stabbed in the nose the entire time he was speaking. It was tough for me to listen to, but I love the way he talks about basketball.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I did some research during one of the breaks. Apparently, they said it wasn't coke. That it was vapor, like vapor rub, so that she can produce fake tears on the stand.
Oh.
Smart. Oh, genius.
I thought they banned that like spider tack from
Why does
courtrooms.
she like sniff it then?
Because you get sinuses.
Yeah. My bad.
No, that's all right. Let's get to a break. No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. That's court ruling. They check everything for vapor rub.
It's like they pat her down like the ump comes in.
Exactly. All right. What are these? Have one of those things. What are those things?
Smelling salts.
Oh, yeah.
Salts.
Yeah.
What do you got that for? What is smelling salt? Oh, just keep my energy. You sure? She's shoving it up her nose. Eyes just water. Oh my God. What a wild scene. That's happening right in front of all of our eyes.
Yes.
Is it a work? Is this entire
It's
thing
been on forever, man.
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like.
No,
There's also
Johnny's
a
not
new
going to win either.
character.
What's that?
Johnny, from what I hear from people, like, it doesn't sound like Johnny's going to win. It's an uphill battle for sure.
He's going to.
He's won the court of public opinion.
Well, until
that's what he wants.
After everyone was kind of on his side, and then that next day when she was on the stand and all that other stuff was coming out, Johnny took a little bit of a hit. It wasn't as much of a runaway, I think, as a lot of people thought.
What, Amber, she fired her PR firm the day before she got on the stand, right?
Yes.
Did she hire Johnny's PR firm from when he was on the stand?
Maybe.
Smart.
All right, run it back.
I guess the new thing they found was her affair with James Franco through a piece of paper, through a psychologist. And you just see Johnny Depp like, oh, I won this. Like, with that information coming out.
I hope everybody.
That doesn't help him win a defamation lawsuit, though.
I hope everybody
She's
figures
cheating.
it out. I hope they all love each other.
Well, Zeke's very clearly on one side during this trial, so.
Yeah.
The lady also farted on the stand the other day.
I did see that.
That was
awesome.
It's probably Amber Turd.
Thanks, Gump.
Wait, did they acknowledge the fart?
It
Yes,
was
she
very loud.
She actually
Did
said
it bounce
that.
off the wood?
She said, "Sorry, that was me."
Yeah.
She was
Are you
Canadian?
serious?
She was Canadian? That's awesome. Well, how'd she get involved, I wonder? Sorry.
Did she like lift the cheek up and vibrate it real loud?
Did Amber Heard's lawyer do objection? Like
It was loud.
That guy's a big objector. All right, we're back in 4. Some phone calls wrapping up this beautiful Monday, May 9th. Big thanks to Quentin for joining us.
Did that really happen, Goop?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did she really say that was me?
Yeah,
I feel like
I'll send it to you.
I feel like if somebody farts on the stand, that would be a notification that your phone would have set up somehow.
Oh, yeah.
AJ.
I mean, yeah, I missed it. I don't know how I did miss it. That would make me chuckle, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how did we miss the Jerry Jones, Dan Snyder, Pepsi thing?
That's a
I'm
good
bummed
question.
about us. WrestleMania Backlash was awesome last night. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was sweet.
6 matches.
So was
I mean, that main event was.
SmackDown.
SmackDown was a good time.
Butch is running around.
Butch came back.
Yeah.
What if Butch would have popped out from underneath that ring when Charlotte Flair went underneath there?
If only.
I literally, because they don't tell me shit about anything, because obviously it's all unfolding in front of all of our eyes. But in my heart, whenever she lifted that up, I was like, what if fucking Butch just popped his head? Like, I was like, if Butch pops his head out, I am going to lose my mind here.
That would have been a moment.
He did not.
Yeah.
That or Wee Man again.
Charlotte Flair, yes. Charlotte Flair ended up breaking her radius bone, which is in her forearm last night. So T's and P's on her recovery.
Good luck.
Good luck, Charlotte. Thanks for being our champion for so long.
Is that going to hinder her from doing anything? Or
What's that?
Is that going to hinder her from doing anything?
Well, I think arm's a pretty big deal in wrestling.
Okay.
She's a warrior, though.
She is. She's a
never
good
know.
champion for us.
So she had a cast on now?
I don't know. We'll see. I guess probably get surgery, broken radius here. This is the radius, this is the ulna. Okay, there's 2 bones in the forearm. Radius, big part of the rotation of the wrist. That's going to be a few months.
That's what Adam Banks had then, bro.
Yeah, couldn't rotate the stick.
Yeah.
Had a problem with his radius. The ulna over here.
Because he woke up that one day, though, so maybe that'll happen to her.
Hopefully for a good show, but Ronda Rousey's our champion now. The baddest woman on the planet, champion of SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're back at 4, answering some phone calls, talking about other things happening in the world. You're the best, bite. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man, I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like that. The dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected, just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There was a lot more.
Yeah,
there was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What does that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, like whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And you were one of them, so I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to... Oh, mama, I'm in here, oh, my life, I'm the... Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm clock.
We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? Why'd you let... I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah!
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, look it. So active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Wayman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
Hear how hard this beat goes, AJ?
Fuck.
Do you?
Yeah, who is it?
This is fucking DJ Griff, dude.
Of course.
Yeah, he has a lot of good ones.
Bangers only.
Absolutely.
What's it called?
This one's called Baker Kleinfield. I don't know when that was created. I assume Baker was in the middle of something.
Yeah.
When he made it. Welcome back to the show. Can't thank enough for watching. On this Monday, May 9th, had Michael Chandler on the first hour. Said he didn't really prepare that punt to Tony Ferguson's head. It was actually just like a check almost, like a range check that had a little ill intention behind it, and boom, right on the button, guy's face turned into bitter beer face.
Hell yeah.
Great conversation with him. I love talking to fighters, man. Deep thinkers, those gladiators.
Yeah, what did he say about his post-fight promo, though? He's getting a lot of good pub for that.
Yeah, it's incredible that he was able to deliver that. I told him, I'm like, you didn't even bubble a word. I don't know if you listened to it back. To be that exhausted, to cut a 55-second promo, call out 4 different people, utilize a weight, and also give a shout-out to Conor McGregor and everything. I mean, put himself over, put others over. It was a great promo. He's awesome. He's in Arizona right now celebrating a little bit. He's walking around at 182 right now. Fought at 155. He's 182 right now.
Absurd.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we asked him about Oliveira.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Asked him about him not making weight by a half a pound, and we thought maybe he'd be like, it's difficult, a half a pound or whatever. But instead, his entire thing was like, hey, you're a champion, man. Like, this is a part of it. Like, you got to make your weight. Like, that is not a cool thing. He said he don't want to step on or kick anybody when they're down, which he didn't. He didn't bury him, but he gave an answer that was more like, yeah, you got to make your fucking weight. Like, that is what you got to do. He said, I did it 30 times. I've done it 30 times for fighting, another 100 sometimes or 1,000 times before then for wrestling. Like, that is what you do. It's miserable. It's not fun, but you got to fucking make your weight. I didn't expect that, AJ. I honestly didn't expect that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Fighters usually have this is a weird one with Oliveira because it was 0.5. Like, people were claiming, the guy working the scale could have said he was under, was right at it. Like, yeah. I mean, I know Ariel Helwani is he has said like some sympathy for Oliveira. Said like, hey, other guys have been 0.5 over, but the guy jiggles the old deal on the scale, and he's fine.
Yeah, they did. I think Ariel posted a video of somebody in the past where it was very quick. Yep, you're good, as opposed to like a I think I saw of Ariel. Ariel also didn't like the people were criticizing the Thug Rose fight. Seems like that was kind of everybody was in agreement that was a boring fight. Last night I almost buried it because Ronda and Charlotte were battling, and that fight was just sitting on the tip of my tongue like 5-6 different times, like unlike last night, there was so many of that, but I didn't want to be the noob that was like not understanding that there was like real cerebral chess games going on in there. And if anybody gets in there to fight, I got nothing but respect, so I'm not going to mock it, but people were very underwhelmed with that fight, I guess.
Yeah, I think people had pretty high expectations for that, but going back to Gaethje Oliveira, I don't know if you saw that, but Oliveira's, he is so damn good. Like, Gaethje's awesome. I always want Gaethje to win. But I have a ton of respect for what Oliveira did and how he was able to win.
And also, follow up, he's still champion. He's fighting in the next championship fight. He just doesn't necessarily get to take it home, I guess, and probably not a championship bonus.
He takes next one he can take home, right?
Yeah. He's fighting maybe Chandler, maybe somebody else in there. I don't know. The UFC is interesting because they take a massive hit. Their main event is no longer a championship fight because the guy missed weight. They had the worst championship fight actually said by Rogan in DC, I believe, during it. And still people are talking about it because Chandler kicked the guy's head off. So that's basically what the UFC, like moments. Just like in wrestling, just like in WWE, they'll continue to do it. Their next event will do just the same as this last one did, and they'll hope for more bangers like they've had.
Well, and Helwani said like it happens sometimes where, guys are half a pound over or whatever, but like how often does it happen with the champion? Like, and I think that's what Chandler kind of said too. Like, you even have a higher standard because you do have the belt.
Could you imagine walking, AJ? I know you're a psychopath, and you said like.
No, I cannot imagine. Tony Ferguson, he turned him into an old man, and that how his jaw not just snap off too? Like it sounds like he's okay.
And his teeth, how did his teeth not disintegrate like what you did whenever you hit a guard or whatever? Just a perfectly placed. Look at that ball of the foot too, so he's not going to like break a toe or anything. It's literally like a perfect uppercut. He hit that thing like a punt too, like the way he dragged it. I watched it a couple of times. I mean, it was exactly like a punt. It was perfectly placed. Very impressive. I assumed it was something he trained a lot. He's like, no, not really. I'm like, you going to add that into your repertoire now? He's like, yeah, maybe it's something Maybe it's something I work on a little bit. He said, normally I'm just a puncher. Because first round, he had a couple kicks to the inside of the shin. And every time they do that, I think, golly, like, that has to hurt so bad. In soccer, I used to wear these tiny little shin guards, tiny ones. But it was a roll of the dice because if you happen to accidentally go shin to shin with somebody, it hurt so bad. Do they just beat down all the nerve endings, I guess, on the shin? Like in the Karate Kid? Is that what they do?
Well, I remember there was back in the day, Mirko Krokop was a heavyweight, and he used to throw like massive kicks. And they said, like, training for fights, he'd like kick bricks and shit like that just to deaden his legs pretty much.
Deaden your nerves.
Yeah.
Well, and guys' legs like snap off sometimes. Like there's
Chris Weidman, Anderson Silva, Good luck.
Wild.
Sure you want to throw that kick? The dude checks it right. Your leg's going to snap in half.
Yeah.
AJ, you said in Bull in the Ring or Oklahoma drills, it's either kill or be killed, so I guess I got to fucking kill somebody. That is literally what.
It's not exactly what I said.
Yeah,
I didn't
verbatim.
Say kill or be killed. But when it's one-on-one.
Yeah, you did.
You got to do whatever you have to do to win. You know that.
You said that. Anyways, but that is. Imagine that cage shutting and you're just standing in there and it's.
I'm not doing it.
All right, here we go. All right, this is going to happen.
Imagine if you're first and you got to wait. You're fighting like a star, and he has a 15-minute intro, and you're just in the cage. Like, okay, here we go.
Oh my God! All right, this is about to happen. Kill or be killed. I might get punted in the fucking head.
Yeah.
This is really going to take place. What a feel! That has to be That's probably an adrenaline that they're chasing forever. All those fighters.
Can you imagine when you're Chandler and you realize you connected on that kick? I mean.
4.
Just starts hitting backflips in the middle of the cage.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off, man. Somebody tell that guy I apologize. I was a little jacked up. Let's go to the phones. The 5 Energy phone line is a fantastic place for good conversation. Yeah. Go to 5energy.com. Get 10% off any of your order of the delicious flavors that 5 Energies have. 5 Energy has. When you use promo code
McAfee.
10% off. Let's go to Justin in Hawaii. Aloha. What's up, dude?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Hey, keep it moving to Hawaii. How are you, man? We got your weather today. It's fucking amazing. We're celebrating. We're going to have a parade.
Yeah, man. It's It's awesome here too. Hey, I got a quick question. So, UFC Hall of Famer BJ Penn is running for governor here in Hawaii. So, and one of his talking points is he's going to bring the first NFL team to Hawaii and then host 3 UFC events. I wanted to get you guys' take on the NFL team coming to Hawaii. I know you guys talked about last week an NFL team going to London. How feasible do you think it is for an NFL team to come to Hawaii?
Great question, Justin. I think they should do a game in Hawaii, like a preseason game or something like that in Hawaii. I think they should do that. I think that's a good idea. That's a haul. Hawaii is a fucking haul. I mean, that is England to get to Hawaii. So I'm not 100% sure if a team will get there, although I love Hawaii, and I will move to Hawaii if an NFL team goes there to cover it accidentally. You know what I mean? I've been looking for a reason to move to that place, and that would be a great one to do it. But it is so far away, AJ. I mean, you get on your maps when you're out there, and you just zoom out a little bit, and you're just a blue dot in the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean. You can't even – I mean, it is so far out there. But games should definitely go out there. Ooses, a lot of ooses in the NFL. That's something that maybe the NFL should think about.
Yeah, they should. I wonder. I mean, I'm sure it all depends on like what the population is.
Take
and what
the
the money
Pro
looks
Bowl
like.
back there.
Yeah, there
what
you
are
go.
we even talking about? Take the Pro Bowl back there.
Well, but yeah, you said play a preseason game there. Would you want to fly there and play a preseason game?
I mean, maybe. Right?
If you got maybe if you got like an extra day off or something.
Yeah, you get like 2 days in Hawaii. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I bet it would change it up a little bit. Maybe like the second. Maybe when you're 15 days into camp, that'd be a nice little trip.
God, I love it. Now getting back is a whole problem. It's going to be difficult. It sounds like, Justin. No
If you're
offense.
West Coast, it's fine though. West Coast, it's what? How many hours?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. It's not terrible.
Just another reason to get those planes back too.
The Concorde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it in the NFL because you have to play teams on the East Coast, but like Hawaii College does it with the West Coast.
Yeah, and what do? They just go on like a long voyage and then they come back and people travel against them. That's got to be difficult to be at the University of Hawaii. I thought about transferring there after I got 27 death threats from West Virginia. I'm like, I'm going to get as far away from here as fucking possible. Still kick some balls. It was University of Hawaii. I looked into it. And then I started like doing some research on how feasible that life has to be. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I mean, getting back home has to be awesome every time. Like,
Who goes to college out there? Like, do you know anyone that went to college in Hawaii?
Who's that kid from Colorado that went out there, got kicked out?
Colt Brennan.
Oh yeah,
Colt Brennan.
No,
went
no,
out?
I don't mean players. I mean like just regular people that you grew up with or you know. I don't know anyone that went out there.
I think there's a lot of, military families. A lot of military families live in Hawaii. A lot of,
I mean guys that go to college there that don't play football. Do you know anyone that just does that?
Just goes
to live in Hawaii.
Yeah. Like, hey, I'm going to school. Where are you going? I'm going to Hawaii. Hell, how'd you get there? I don't know. Looks
Well,
sweet.
I fucking hate this place. So I'm getting as far away from here as possible.
Paul Rudd and forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, he did.
Who knew?
He did it.
Oh.
Have you been to Hawaii yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Greatest place on earth.
Oh, my
is
skin would
fucking
do out there.
awesome.
I feel like I would get so sunburned.
I get
I'm
good
with you.
sun. I get good sun out there, but it's just like as soon as you arrive there, it's just like perfect.
Don't be afraid of how long the flight is because it's the greatest trip ever.
Yeah, you actually just half a Xan on a flight.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, more
15
than
hours.
that though. I learned a lot about Drake in that, and I know he probably needed an extra syllable or two of that line. But
Sure.
I don't know if what I've seen him drinking at Louisville, if at Kentucky Derby, if half his Xan's going to do anything in Drizzy Drake right
Yeah,
now.
because that's 2 flights, right? Because you got to go to California first and then hop on another one.
No, I fly out of Dallas normally over
Oh.
there. It's a pretty good little flight, but it is 2 flights to get from wherever you go to your next island, unless you're staying in Honolulu, basically.
Well, and that's what 10 minutes. Those flights can't be too long, are they?
Yeah, but they're not just like on schedule like a subway. You got to wait for those planes to get you to the island to the island.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they're like 20-minute flights, so you got to wait like another 30. So
Is there good ferries?
What's that, pal?
Is there like boats or anything?
Yeah, there's boats. I think it's like an hour and a half to kind of bounce around.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's worth it, though.
Did you go to Pearl Harbor?
I've not been there. I
Haven't
should,
either.
though. I should go. I never make any time to go to the other islands when I go over there because it's such a far trip. But everybody that's like veteran in the Hawaii trips, they tell me that I need to go for more days than I go for. I go for like 5 days, 6 days.
Perfect. That's perfect.
I agree, but I don't get really into like Hawaii till like day 3 or day 4. And then when I get, then it's like, all right, now I got to turn around and fucking come all the way back. I gotta get
But do you want to stay anywhere for 10, 14 days?
Hawaii, maybe. I mean, Hawaii,
Yeah.
that place
I
is
guess.
awesome over there. Let's go to the fence. We got listeners in Hawaii. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, unbelievable. What time is it over there right now?
6 hours difference. So you do the math. What was that, 9 a.m.? Good morning, Hawaii.
Good morning.
Aloha.
Aloha. I hope you guys are having your pog juice right now.
Pog juice.
And spam. They love spam.
Or
Kava.
ooze juice.
They eat spam.
Well, spam is a delicacy. It's mostly because how expensive everything is to ship in and out. So it's kind of out of necessity.
We should go work out with Laird Hamilton out there. I know he has a spot there.
Is that Dog the Bounty Hunters guy?
No, a big wave surfer, but he works out underwater and sauna with he does a sauna with like oven mitts on because the sauna on a bike and it's so hot he has to wear oven mitts because the metal gets too hot.
Oh, this is Liver King.
No, it's not, but
Sounds like it.
Yeah,
Sounds like
it's
it's
equally if you're wearing oven mitts on a bike,
in a sauna?
Yeah. Liver King.
Liver King.
That's what he basically does.
Let's go to the phones.
Is the Liver King athletic?
Seems
I haven't
like
seen.
I seen him truck across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
Was he carrying something?
Yeah. 2 big dumbbells, and then he also had a sled on his back.
Jeez.
And he was trucking across the Brooklyn fucking bridge, dude. All to sell some supplements. I'll tell you what, I bought them. I didn't see anybody else going across the bridge that didn't take the supplements, and it seems like that's all he's taking, so I believe him. All right, the show's ended. Thank God. I'm going to answer some more phone calls, but we got a minute until we get out of here. Go experience the sun. Here comes the sun. AJ, what do you want to tell the radio listeners before Chris Mad Dog Russo show in about 6 minutes after this hard out in about 45 seconds?
Well, hopefully they go check out the newest trailer for Avatar because you think it's going to be an absolute blockbuster. So I'm going to check that out here in a little bit.
Well, it's going to succeed because it's Avatar, and it's...
There's 7 more of them, right? Didn't they film 7 in one?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we're about to get out.
$600 billion.
Avatar train.
Hell yeah. Better be good.
Well, I'm going to have to get past
Goddamn
Jacob
right.
Sully speaking the way he speaks again. So I'm going to watch that
How
trailer.
does he speak? I don't know.
Well, he's an Australian guy, and he speaks the way he speaks. It is like he's always giving a motivational pregame speech when he's talking, so you got to get used to that a little bit. But he's saving the world, literally.
Yeah.
So
We'll be back in about 21 hours. Probably a better show. Not 100% certain. 3 great guests today. Can't thank them enough. Mike, D-Butt, and Q Rich. Chris Mad Dog Russo's next. Cheers.
Nailed it.
Go.
Moonshot.
Call it the moonshot. Bush Bavarian. We ain't even got t-shirts. Corn dogs, I mean. What a movie. All right, AJ. You have anything on Magic Johnson joining the group led by 76ers owner Josh Harris to buy the Broncos?
No, I do not have anything on that. Hopefully they win.
Good luck to him.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of money.
We need Magic doing more dumbbell curls on his yacht. I love when he does that.
Yeah, Magic on his yacht is always awesome.
Yeah.
And then his tweets are always like, hey, it's sunny in Indiana. So
He's amazing.
He's the best. And he just released that doc on Apple TV.
he's not as good as Elon Musk is at Twitter.
No.
Who,
Oh, yeah.
in case I die, 170,000 retweets.
Unreal.
It was nice knowing you guys. Russia's got me right in crosshairs. It's not just Russia, by the way. He owns Twitter, the largest town square on Earth that can yield a lot of power potentially. There's probably a lot of people that would like to see Elon go back to the planet he came from.
Oh, yeah.
But we need him. Sorry.
We need him. He's our guy.
Yeah, he has a lot of work to do still.
So does he? No, the American government
What's that?
wouldn't feel the need to protect him. Not that they're trying to at all.
I think America has adopted him.
No, what I'm saying, like, doesn't the world kind of need Elon at this point?
Yeah,
So
I think
shouldn't we
so.
have some sort of protective around
Depends who
him?
you ask, bud.
Maybe the CIA
Yeah,
does.
I know, AJ. I know. Well, allegedly he was working with CIA, right? That's what was said in, or the Pentagon dropped off the Starlink. That's what the Russian.
Which is bad news bears.
How about he tweeted at the guy that said he wants to die on his platform? This is what this guy just said about me, which is like basically Elon needs to die. That guy's tweets are protected, and Elon owns the.
Yeah.
What a wild scene. Elon's got to wake up every day and be like, what the fuck is going on?
What's going on today?
What is going on? Somebody on my platform just made an announcement that he wants to kill me. And then I'm going to quote tweet it, and I'm going to say, nice knowing you. This is all on Twitter happening at the same time. Wild stuff.
The best.
Let's go to Isaiah in Phoenix. Beautiful city, Isaiah.
Oh,
Beautiful city. What's going
Are they going to
on?
beat the Mavs?
Well, Luka, a hoe.
No.
Says Lil Wayne.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Keep it knowing.
Hell
You
yeah.
guys hear me?
Keep it knowing.
This is not good.
Hey, anyway, my question is,
There, baby.
what do you guys think about the Falcons taking Desmond Ridder over Malik Willis? Apparently, there's a report that came out it said Willis lacked signature moments in college, and that's why the Falcons ended up going with Ritter.
Well, I mean, they could say that he played at Liberty. Anybody could say that he played at Liberty at any given point, Isaiah. You know what I mean? You're in Phoenix. You're a Mavs fan. You don't like the Suns?
No, I'm a Bucks fan.
Go to hell.
Well, they're about to bury the Celtics.
No.
Yeah, the Celtics stink. Connor, sorry.
Not true. The refs, they wouldn't have won on Saturday.
What?
Trash
call to end the game. Marcus Smart was shooting 3. Should have been 3 free throws, tie the game.
I agree. 100% agree. Maybe go Celtics.
Probably should have.
Desmond Ritter, what do you say? Everybody's going to fucking pay for this or something like that?
They fucked up.
Got him fucked up.
He's a dog, I think. That's why I'd assume Artie Smith is very pumped to have him in the building. He was compared to Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota's there for at least a year or two to show him maybe how to be an NFL pro. He's been around. Is Desmond Ritter the future of the Atlanta Falcons? Is that how it's being painted? I don't think so, right? This is like maybe.
Yeah, it feels like. I mean,
yeah,
it's like a maybe. Could be.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But they're hoping it's a great value pick. Then he does turn into be that guy. I mean, what's the only question? I guess I haven't watched enough of him playing. I know he started for 60 years. It feels like at UC and won a ton of games. But didn't they say he's just not as accurate as other guys, at least in college?
Yeah, but I mean, they can make it.
Seems pretty accurate to me. I'd have to watch all of his throws again, but I don't know. I think it's a great pick in the 3rd round. Are you kidding me? With how athletic he is too, like I like what he can do.
Well, and he's just been in the moments, which I think is big for maturity. You know, like I think maturity-wise,
He's played with a lot of expectation too, don't you think? Where he's the guy. He started for so many years. UC, especially these last 2 seasons, have had all eyes on them. Like, hey, if we lose one game, we're screwed.
Went from 0 expectations to all the expectations. He was able to handle it all. I think that's worth something. Value, 3rd round pick. Why not?
Yeah, and they have time, right? Like obviously it's Brady and the Bucks, but all the other teams, like the Saints, Jameis 2 years. The Carolina Panthers are still looking for a quarterback. Like if he does get any sort of playing time this year and does well, then they kind of have a future where every other team in the division doesn't really have that guy.
They'll be able to make an excuse about anybody, though. Like him saying, Malik doesn't have any signature college. Well, he played at fucking Liberty. So, well, they had the...
Has that ever been a knock before on a quarterback? I haven't heard that as a knock on a player.
Well, they just make shit up whenever they don't like somebody, you know? Like, they can just make shit up. Oh, they won the Ticonderoga 2 trophy, but does that mean anything when you're talking about Lombardies? Like, anybody can make up anything if they don't like somebody.
I mean, they said the same thing about Josh Allen kind of coming out, him playing at Wyoming. It was just he was so, he's an athletic freak. But also, if, like, the Falcons really stink this year and they're in, like, the top 3 picks next year, getting Ritter this year isn't going to deter them from drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's a maybe. We'll see. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go enjoy this weather.
Hell yeah. Enjoy your golf game.
I don't know if it's going to be hard to get on any course.
Well, I don't know. Because maybe people aren't golfing today.
Hit some balls in the lake.
You think it's Steve's course?
A lot of courses are closed on Monday. A lot of country clubs.
No.
Most of them.
First really nice day of the year here, the courses are going to be open. Yeah. People are going to be playing.
Like South Grove, maybe?
I'm not playing at that place.
Steve's course,
Steve's course will be wide open today.
Yeah, well, most days I thought.
Well, they got that cat running around.
Yeah. He's awesome.
It's fucking great.
What?
They got a great cat. Just lives on the property. Fucking moved in. How you doing? I live here now. Tomcat runs around at night, fucks everything around town, comes back, sleeps on a couch in the bro shop every day. That's Steve's course.
Really?
Yeah. Cat's awesome, too. Cat's very cool. If you're allergic to cats, they're not the course for you because that cat is going to be around. Hot dog's pretty good. Steve makes it with love and care.
Oh.
Burger's not bad.
Okay. Who is Steve? The owner?
Yeah, owner, tour pro, chef, groundskeeper.
Wow. Wait, did you know him before this?
Wise sage.
No. I literally, as soon as I walked in, the way Steve was handling himself, this is your course, huh? The way he was talking, he's like, yeah, it's my course. I'm like, here we go.
Steve's course.
So I started diving in now a little bit more, and I ordered a hot dog accidentally. He went to the back. He made it actually, and I said, you guys have anything else you do? We got burgers, too. Might as well take a burger.
Give me one of them.
Steve goes back, takes a burger. I'm trying to support small business, and then this fucking cat comes out, and I started looking around the pro shop, and I started looking around, and I'm like, who picks out? Steve does. Steve picks out everything.
5-tool player.
Yeah, Steve's the guy. Fucking love him.
Nice course.
Gorgeous.
Well, it depends how you.
The weather is tough. The weather, a lot of character.
It's a lot of character.
The weather's tough here in Indiana. There was a couple tee boxes that didn't even have like boxes really, but
that was early in the year, early in the season, wasn't it?
I'd assume today Steve brought his best stuff.
Mm-hmm. It has grass. There are 18 holes in the ground.
What?
That's all you can ask for.
It's a big part of it.
That was a 9-hole course.
What?
Yeah, I just thought maybe just 2 9 holes. You run it back.
Zito, you're going to say something like 4 different times. I think you pump fake going into that small little microphone.
Oh, no, yeah. I would just say a picture of Jim Irsay just came out from the Kicking the Stigma, and he looks good.
Ladies and gentlemen, newest picture of Jim Irsay. Oh, yes.
I believe he's auctioning off the Kurt Cobain iconic guitar from Smells Like Teen Spirit right now.
To his right, Kaylin Irsay. His youngest daughter to his left. I don't know.
Maybe something to do with the auction?
Yeah, it might be a curator of guitars.
Look at that desk. Got some Peter King in him.
That is his desk.
What does that mean, Connor?
Guy kind of looks like Peter King.
Oh, that's his office?
I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't.
He's got guitars hung up. It's got to be something. One of his offices.
It's a great desk.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Mahogany. The helmet's in the back, too.
All right, hope everybody gets in the game.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're out of here. I got something stabbing me in the nose. I can't take it anymore. What is the deal? I'm sick of this. When you got a big sniffer, though, things can happen. We're back tomorrow with a massive show.
Hell
AJ,
yeah.
AJ, who you booking on the show tomorrow?
Big Tuesday tomorrow. I got a couple people, in the works right now. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Oh, you got a couple lines in the water out there?
Yeah, we'll see.
Here we go.
We'll see if they
Pretty
come back.
It is Tuesday.
You chumming a little bit out there? Always chumming. Always chumming.
Just like Poopies. When Poopy's got his hand bit off.
All right, we hope Poopy's okay.
Poopies is broke too, man. I feel bad. You got to buy his merch.
I'll buy Poopy's merch, but
I
don't
tried.
think
It's sold out.
But Poopy's has no idea if his merch company's operating or not. That guy's got no brain. But I do appreciate.
Come on now.
He doesn't. You know, we all saw it. I think that's what we love about Poopy's.
Yeah, I'd like to get Poopies on. If Poopies sees this, I would love to have you on this program. Poopies.
Me as well, Poopies. I'd like to have you on the show as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to learn
Someone
more.
send this to him.
Need you, Poopies.
We need Poopies on the show.
Come on, Poopies.
Atta baby Poopies.
Come on now, Poopies. Come on now,
Poopies. Love to talk to Poopies about his life decisions.
Yeah.
Sound awesome. He's electrifying. Can't wait to chat with him and more. That's tomorrow, right, AJ?
That's tomorrow, hopefully, yeah. Come on, Poopies, come through for us.
All right. That's how you book a show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.